Yo, yeah, guys, I just went live. Everything is looking like. Get out of my screen. What the hell? Anyway, guys, I just went live, spur of the moment. You can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me? I went live, spur of the moment, because a friend of mine, he wants to come up and talk about the situation with Carmelo Anthony. This is like the case that will never die. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm feeling like uh, I'm worried that African American people are going to try to do some crazy stuff if this boy is found guilty. You know, we last time we tore something up over a verdict was Rodney King, but this Carmelo Anthony thing is shaping up to be the new George Floyd, right? Um, to be just what the Democrat Party needs to get black people to shut their minds off, operate purely on emotion, and start trying to destroy stuff because a killer is not being set free. It reminds me of the situation in the Bible when Jesus was before Pontius Pilate, and Pontius Pilate said, "I see no fault in this man. I don't see anything that he has done wrong. Who would you like me to set free in accordance with the custom of the holiday that they were celebrating?" And they said, "Give us Barabbas, a murderous thief." They wanted the murderous thief over a guy who had done nothing wrong. This is reminding me of that situation. African American people, man, we won't do anything, like I'm fat, right? And the truth is, when you're fat and you're overweight and you're getting old, like I'm getting old, you start to have health problems, right? You start getting high blood pressure. You might get diabetes. You might get erectile dysfunction. A plethora of things can start happening to you, right? And the doctors will always talk to you about preventative care. Do the things necessary to prevent. Do the things necessary to prevent these health issues from arising in your later age, right? And how often do we do that? Next to never, right? We'll do everything to try to defend somebody who is clearly in the wrong, but we will do nothing to address the issues that have prevailed, the circumstances that have been present in our community, the conditions that have been present in our community for decades that literally have our young boys at a point where they are crashing out. Because when I see like Carmelo Anthony, I don't even just see him. I see all the young black boys who have did something absolutely stupid and ruined their lives. When I see Austin Metcalf, I don't look at Austin Metcalf and say, "Oh man, a white guy got killed, so his life is less valuable," because let's not get it twisted. That's what black people are telling the world. We say Black Lives Matter, right? But in the eyes of black folks, the only lives that matter are really black folks. And honestly, black folks' lives don't even matter to black folks. Because I look at Carmelo Anthony like, if it wasn't Austin Metcalf, what black guy would he have killed for telling him to do something he didn't want to do, or for pushing him or doing something like that to him? See, because I don't think this guy killed Austin Metcalf because he was white. I think he killed Austin Metcalf because Austin Metcalf attempted to take a position of authority over him, and Carmelo Anthony, like a lot of young black boys at that age, was at that point in his life where he was starting to develop a resentment of authority or anyone who tried to take a position of authority over him. This is real. This is a real thing. But we're going to pretend like that ain't the case. No, that ain't real. That dude was a racist. That dude was a member of the KKK. And do you want me to tell you why I know that black people aren't using any rational thinking ability in this situation at all? You know how I know? I know because black folks are spewing all types of misinformation, and the misinformation is being debunked left and right. The misinformation is being debunked left and right. And you don't hear a single black person issuing an apology. They're not saying like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to spread misinformation. They're just like, as soon as you debunk one thing that they're saying, they just say, oh, that don't matter. And they try to go find something else to try to make what Carmelo Anthony did okay. That's when I know that you're not looking for the facts. You're not looking for the truth. You are looking for confirmation for your bias. You only want information that confirms what you already believe. And when you approach any approach any situation like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to make a fool out of yourself. And that's what the black community is doing. Hold on. Yo, what up, bro?
Where you at?
What do you mean? I sent you the link to your Facebook Messenger.
I was right there. It says you was gone.
What? Click it again. Click it again. Yeah, it should bring you right in. But anyway, yeah. So I can tell. I brought my homegirl Maggie up here the other day. She talking about, oh well, if he was scared, no one can tell you if you're scared enough to take somebody's life. So today I was messing with her on Facebook, and I said, okay, so if an old 75-year-old lady pushed me, I could stab her in the chest and kill her. She said, why would your big ass want to stop right there. So if a 75-year-old woman pushed me, I can't stab her in the chest. But if someone pushes Carmelo Anthony, he could turn around and stab them in the chest. See, black folks don't do things with foresight. Like we don't do things with like with the continued existence of civilization in mind. Because we don't look at society like it's our responsibility to make sure society is good. We look at things from an outside in perspective. How is everybody else going to act to make me feel more comfortable? That's how a lot of African Americans approach life. Everyone else has to walk on eggshells so that we can feel more comfortable. I heard this lady talking about, oh, well, white folks, they live in this situation where they have audacity and they want to be comfortable and they this and that. And I'm like, well, black folks do that. Yeah, I do. Astute percipient. Yep, I do believe black folks are to blame. I do believe black folks are to blame. Because we create an environment in our community, in our culture, that is making these young black boys feel like they got the right to violently aggress against people. Why did Carmelo Anthony need to take a knife to school? He already got in trouble for the knife once. Now he's still bringing the knife to school. Why did he have to do that? Everyone could say, see, what it really is black people expect more from white people than they expect from themselves. We expect white people to behave so that they can maintain a level of order in all situations. So we don't have to. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. We want white people, we expect white people to behave so we don't have to. King Shanard, doesn't matter. This is what we do. Guys, the link is in the comments. Come up. You can come up. We're having a discussion tonight. I want to create a discussion in this situation. Come tell me how I'm wrong. I've been around black people my whole life. So when you argue against me, you're saying, "Hey, Brandon, don't listen to, don't ignore, throw away your 40 years of experience with black folks. Growing up around black folks your whole life. Growing up in a community where one person could do something and it's cool, and then another person do it and it's suddenly a problem. Come on, y'all. We ain't fooling nobody but ourselves with that type of reasoning. I'm keeping it real with you. We ain't fooling nobody but ourselves. You think white people don't know you? They've been dealing with you 400 years. They've studied your community. Hell, they've created a lot of conditions in your community. You think they don't know how you tick, what makes you tick, and what you think? If white people don't know how you think, how come they always successfully able to get you to vote for them every 4 years? Why is it that a white lady like Hillary Clinton know that she pull hot sauce out of her bag, that's going to be enough to get a bunch of black people to vote for her? Why does, like Joe Biden them, you can see by the way they act, you can tell that they know what makes you tick. They know what type of theatrics you respond to. If Karmelo, what I know for a fact is that if Karmelo Anthony had killed another black person, I know for a fact black people wouldn't even bat an eye at this situation. Yo, LA Thorn, what up, G?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, my brother?
Hey, I was when I first heard about that Carmelo Anthony incident, I'm thinking to myself, like, this is some shit that a dude in prison would fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Like I can understand, like, if you're in prison and someone invades your space, and you might have to shank that person in order to actually survive the next day or next hour. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cutthroat like that. You know what I'm saying? But Carmelo is, from what I understand, he has a prior record. You know what I'm saying? Like that's leading towards doing this type of shit anyway. But I can't confirm nor deny that because I'm not entirely sure how reliable that information is. But based upon his actions, it sounds like he's already been through the juvenile system before, or at least had some experience with it.
No, 100%. I'm just reading the comments. I'm reading the comments with all these black people. I'm attacking black people. So when people say, if I say something about Carmelo, I'm attacking black people, that means we believe that black people are automatically criminally inclined. I'm attacking ignorant ass black people who see a situation that is cut and dry. It's clear as day what's going on here. And we are trying to do mental gymnastics. We're literally making up lies to try to defend something that is indefensible. When you got to start lying to defend somebody, that's probably where you should ask yourself, what am I doing? Because you could have said nothing and just waited to see what happens for all the evidence to come out. You got black people producing fake Instagram posts with Austin Metcalf calling black people monkeys. You got black people making up fake police reports talking about he was getting jumped, they smashed his phone, they was beating, all this crap. When you got to produce stuff like that to try to make somebody look innocent, that tells me that you already know, just like I do, that that person is guilty of sin. Because when they was putting OJ on trial, You didn't see people making up fake stories and trying to put that in the newspapers about OJ. But the rise of social media have created the have given people with bad intentions the ability to introduce false narratives, fraudulent narratives to try to trick people into defending things that they ordinarily wouldn't defend. They was lying for like a week talking about Carmelo was only 130 pounds. I looked up, did my research, soft search. Carmelo 165 pounds. I'm not saying that the weight matters.
Wait. The police report said he's
Hey,
130 pounds.
one second.
Oh,
LA
my bad.
Force,
My bad.
I'm gonna
My
pull
bad.
you down because I agree with my brother that we was gonna talk, me and him first, and then we were gonna bring people up. So I'll
Sure,
pull
no
you
problem,
down.
man. I
All right.
respect that.
No, no word. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Art Derek. The police report said he was 130 pounds.
Yeah, soaking wet. 5'9", 130 pounds. That's the
Yeah.
police report.
Right.
So yeah,
But go
so
ahead.
so the police report said that. So why would you make him bigger or smaller than what he was? When
Because
they sorry,
you got it.
Mike.
You got it. No, you talk. You talk. I'll shut up.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering why you're painting a narrative on this young black. This is a black kid. He's a kid at the end of the day. He made a mistake as a kid, right? So I'm not even gonna argue with you that he deserved time or he don't like he didn't make a mistake. But what you're trying to do is you're painting a narrative as if this is a guy that went there 6'1" or 6'2". You send me his stats, bro, ran a 4.3. I'm like, dude, like, what does it have to do with anything that he went through that day? It was a torrential downpour. The rain was coming down. From what we know, he was trying to take cover from the rain and got under a tent. And then the bully, which was happened to be the white guy, rest in peace, Austin. He came and said, "What are you doing sitting under here?"
Hmm.
And whatever escalated after that.
Right.
But but to say he was just some big old dude that this is what concerns me about black conservatives. Why do like you made a video like you did a you were showing us highlight videos. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand black conservatives like yourself. And I've been a black conservative. I'm a day one black conservative. So sometimes it just confuses me. Like you make us look bad, in my opinion, when you do things like this.
Hmm.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, let me tell you. First of all, the police report that you're talking about was fraudulent. It was made up. Someone made up a fake police report that said he was 5'9", 130 pounds. So now that you know that that was a fake police report, I know that won't deter you from saying what you said. It's not going to
No,
get you.
so
So wait. They put out the information, but because Negroes get
we're arguing this hot. We're arguing the
let me
size.
finish.
Do you want to
Let me
argue his
finish.
size?
Let me finish. Let me finish. What I'm telling you is Austin Carmelo Anthony was 6 foot, 165 pounds. The reason why I sent you his stats was because nobody who is 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, someone approaches them, asks them, why you under my tent, is so scared for their life that they about to stab somebody in their chest, bro. That's not even a thing. That's not, bro, you aren't even 6 feet tall. And if I walk up and I'm big as hell,
I'm definitely 6 feet tall.
okay,
I'm definitely
well,
six
you
feet.
6 feet. Okay, you 6 feet tall. I think I'm a little bigger than you, but I'm shorter than you.
Yeah.
All right, let's be real, dog. I walk up to you, hey, bro, what you doing under my tent? Or you walk up to me, hey, bro, what you doing under my tent? Neither one of us are gonna be so deathly afraid that we like, yo, I gotta pull out a knife and stab this dude in the chest with it. That level of fear don't even exist among black teenagers. You got black females that be fighting with the police.
No, I'm not doing that with this situation.
You don't got to
Because
do it. I'm
hold on.
simply
Hold
showing
on, hold
you.
on.
Okay. All right.
Hold on.
All right.
Listen. The black guy had both his parents in his life.
Okay. That has nothing to do with this.
Hold on. The white guy had he was raised by a single parent mom.
But that has nothing to do with
His
this
dad, his
situation.
dad, his dad has a pedophile, some type of conviction coming up under him. So their situation, like what you tried to paint this
Why
black man
why
as,
do you why do you have to, this is what I'm saying. Why do you have to bring up things that have nothing to do with what happened
because
to
this
try to
is what
prove your
happened to
point?
this. This is what happened to this black boy. He had a 1.3 grade point average, which was a lie. There's no way you can have a
No,
1.3 grade
no,
point average in place.
no. The reason why alternative grade, the reason why people presented the real information was because this black folks started making up false information. So
No, that's
people,
a lie.
okay.
That's a
So if I
lie.
say no, so if I say this right, so if you do something, and I'm like, bro was a fifth degree Mason. Bro was a trained sharpshooter. Bro was an Olympic athlete. All this crap trying to make you look good. People are gonna come with the true information. Well, I don't believe that. Let me go see. That was a response to black people trying to put out false information, starting with his own uncle, who was putting out false information, and then people started doing research so they could get accurate information. That's how that stuff
No,
came.
hold on. False information was coming on both sides. Do you think that an athlete can have a 1.3 grade point average? A good athlete. Is that even possible? A
Is what?
1.3. A 1.3 is a D average. Do you
Yeah.
think an athlete can have that? No, it's impossible.
No, I mean you can have a you can have you
No,
can
so
have
why was that narrative?
you
That
can have
narrative, and they said it for 3 years. His junior year, his freshman year, and his sophomore year. They
African
said he had
This is what African Americans do.
a
Black people,
1.3.
this is what black people do, and you know it better than I do. The news started
Why do I know
talking
this better than you? Why do
because
I know
you've
this?
been black a long time. The
Okay.
news started talking about how Austin Metcalf was a 4.0. So what niggas,
3.7. Yeah.
whatever. So what niggas do is they try to, we live based on comparison. That's how black minds operate. We got to
Why
try to,
would they
hold
even care?
on,
Why
let me
does
finish. Let me
Okay.
finish. That's the
Sorry.
same thing I would ask. Why would
Sorry,
we
sir.
even care?
Sorry, sir.
No, we're good.
Sorry, sir.
The white people said, bro was a 4.0 student. He was the MVP. So black people said, man, we trying to make Austin look good. So we got to start throwing we got to start throwing Carmelo stats out there. Here's the problem. The stats were fraudulent. It was all done in bad,
What was
it
fraudulent?
was all done in bad faith. It
So
was
you think he
lies
had a
that was,
1.3? You think that a high school athlete can have a 1.3? That doesn't even make sense.
I believe that somebody's GPA could be a 3.0. And if they messing around, not going to school and stuff, it can drop to a 1.3.
For 3 years. They did
No.
it it was on a 3-year scale. 1.3, you saw it. 1.3, 1.2, 1.7, something
So
like that.
what was Carmelo's Anthony's grade point average?
His daddy said it was a 3.7,
His
3.9.
dad said that.
Yeah,
His,
that's what his dad said.
I don't think his dad ever said that.
No, his dad never even spoke. So I'll be lying if I
His
said
dad
that. But
spoke, but his dad. That's what I'm saying, man.
his
I
dad never said he was a bad student though. He
no,
was raised by both his.
I never said he was a bad
No, but
student.
no. You did because
No,
you
I
called him a
didn't.
Pookie and a Ray Ray. You got
No,
on
I
my
didn't.
page. You called him a
Okay.
Pookie. You said I defend Pookies and Ray Rays.
Yeah,
And
I probably was joking with you because I know you personally. I
all right,
wasn't
cool,
doing
cool,
it.
cool,
I
cool,
wasn't
cool,
saying
cool.
that on
I give
the
you that. I give you that.
across the
I give you
airway.
that.
But
I
what
give
I'm
you that.
telling you is this: we could strip everything down to the bare minimum. Do you really believe that this 6 foot tall young high
He's
school
not 6 foot tall.
he
He's five
is
nine.
six,
The
he's
black kid is
six,
5'9".
no, bro,
The
he's
police just said the
brother.
police report
They
said
got pictures of him
the
standing,
police report
bro.
said he's 5'9",
Bro, listen,
130.
I keep telling you that's a fake police report. I keep telling you that.
Okay. So we
Listen,
got to go by
they
that. It's
have
a fake.
they have pictures of of Carmelo standing in front of a measuring wall, a measuring tape.
No, nah,
Yes, they do.
How
Yes,
do we
they
know
do.
that's how do,
No,
and it's from here up. It's from
because
here up. It's from
because
here up. I
because
saw that.
no, because Carmelo Anthony is an athlete. He's literally registered on Huddle Sports.
I don't believe the average male is 5'9". I
Listen,
believe he
man,
was an average male. He was
Carmelo
5'9".
This is not a matter of
He's
belief.
only 17 years old. You think
Listen,
he's 6'1"?
there's bro. What the hell are you talking? See, you in the land of make believe now, bro. This is not about belief. This is about facts.
No, you're in the land of wanna believe.
No,
You live in the land of wanna believe, and
bro.
you wanna believe that this
Unless
black man.
unless Carmelo, listen, these stats were posted about Carmelo in October of 2024.
So he should be the number one. Did you see the statue you sent me? He lifts 100 and something pounds 25 times. He runs a 4.31. Like he should be a way better recruit than
No,
the
he
white
is.
boy.
He's a good athlete. I show videos of him knocking people helmet off
No,
on
no,
the
I don't
court,
want to believe that. I don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
bro.
We
I
don't
show
even no
I
no.
show video on
Now
my
he's 4.7. Now he run. You said 4.3 on mine. You
listen.
sent
I
me.
said his shuttle was 4.3. Listen, look. So this was posted 2000 October 2024. It says right here he 5'11", 160. So we don't
Yeah,
believe
you
that.
know they lie.
That's
You
not
know they
all right,
lie. You
all right,
know they
all
lie.
right,
You know they lie on
all
recruiting
right,
tape.
man. All right, man.
You know
But
they lie on recruiting tape.
listen,
Like
I get what you're saying, and I would believe you. But we also have photos of the guy standing in front of the measuring wall, right at 6 feet.
I don't believe it. But let's go back to the story, right?
You
The
funny.
story goes like this. Let's go back to the story. It was raining, right? Right or wrong.
Okay, it was raining. Yeah.
And he tried to take refuge from the rain.
Okay.
Can we go there?
I mean, that's what they're saying.
Yes, that's what they're saying. And the white boy not the white boy, that's disrespectful.
Well, he
Austin
is white.
came and said, huh?
I mean, he
Because I
is
don't like to make it about race. I don't. I don't. You know I'm a
whether you
conservative.
whether you
You
like
know
it or
I'm a
not.
conservative.
Whether you like
I
it or not, this is about race.
it
Because
is.
if this boy was black, black people wouldn't give a. If the guy who got killed was black, black people wouldn't give
Exactly.
a damn about this
Exactly. And
situation.
white people either. And this is why I get mad at conservatives. This is why I'm mad at everybody right now.
I'm just showing y'all
Because
a picture that show Carmelo being 6 feet. Plus, we looked at his huddle sports stats. This boy is just not. It's not like he's trying to fake nobody. He's at an event. He's standing here casually. He's over 6 feet. So that means he
I
grew.
don't believe it. I don't
That
believe
means
it.
he grew since huddle sports.
Okay, okay, I'll give you that. I will give you that, right? But what I'm saying is when it comes to white conservatives and when it comes to black conservatives, I used to consider myself conservatives, but now this story is making it seem like being a conservative to me used to feel like we all had our own little spaces to think. Like we can all think differently from each other. But like now it's like everybody has to have a group think. Like it seems like we all have to agree that this guy is guilty.
No, that's not true because a lot of conservatives are coming out defending Carmelo Anthony.
And I'm not defending him. I'm
Right,
not defending him.
Anthony Brian Logan is coming out defending him. Tim Pool, a dude with a humongous podcast, is coming out defending him. There are several black
I've
conservatives.
been on I've been on all the platforms. I
Yeah,
get it.
but there are several who are defending him. I'm not defending him because I believe he's a kid who made a horrible mistake,
There it
and he
goes. Let's stop there. A kid. Why are you
yes,
guys throwing this guy under the bus like he deserves? Okay,
no one's
he met.
saying that. No one's doing that. Black people are saying
No, you
he
called
didn't
him a
do nothing.
Pookie and a Ray Ray though,
Man,
bro. You
please, no,
called him.
I was joking with you personally on my
Okay,
personal
okay,
account. I did
okay,
not come up here calling him no Pookie. Stop.
okay,
I
okay.
was joking. In
All
your
right,
comments,
right.
trying to
Yeah,
be annoying to
that's
you.
how we do. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what we do.
I'll give
But,
you that. I'll give you
but
that.
what I'm telling you is this: it's like my daughter. If my daughter do something, bro, sometimes when you have kids, the mom might try to like, well, it wasn't her fault that happened, but the daddy got to come through and be like, no, 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 no. She knows better than that. She knows better than to do that shit. She's gonna get in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm,
Because you understand that you have to hold your kid accountable, so your kid
mm-hmm,
knows to not go do that shit later on again,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
That's the same thing with Carmelo Anthony. If black people make it seem like this guy did nothing wrong, now that
mm-hmm,
gives the signal to other black kids. Well, y'all
mm-hmm,
go carry a knife to school. I take a knife
mm-hmm.
to school and stab somebody for $500,000. You
Can
got
we
to understand that
can we do
everything.
the reverse? Can we do the reverse
Let's
though?
do the
If
reverse.
we act like Austin was I'm right and I say so. He had
Austin was
no business. He had
1,000% wrong.
okay,
Austin was one
okay.
1,000% wrong. You should not have touched nobody. You should not
Mm,
have pushed nobody. It's not you don't have the authority to tell somebody they can't be in a certain part of the stance. We know this. This is beyond a doubt. And I honestly think that's why his daddy ain't really too crazy about it because he know
mm-hmm,
my son was out of line, straight up. Do
mm-hmm,
I think it was race motivated? No, I do not. I think it was more in the spirit of competition and y'all are rivals. Get the
mm-hmm,
freak from out of our area,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
The only people making this about race are black people. They're talking about the guy who was in the Klan and they making fake things about I'm gonna kill me some monkeys today and all this stuff. What I'm telling you is this: Carmelo overreacted. He was in the right. In
That's
the,
not fair to say that it's just
listen,
black people. I'm
listen.
disappointed in the black conservative, the white conservative, the white liberal, the black liberal. Like we're all it's this is a perfect excuse me, I know I cut you off. But this is the perfect mixing like everybody is mixed in this. You got white conservatives agreeing with black liberals, you got black conservatives agreeing with white liberals. Like this is a whole this subject at the end of the day, these were two children. These were kids.
But what you guys don't understand, and this is why I said about the white conservatives agreeing with Carmelo. Understand that everything is precedent, right? So if we let it ride, that if someone walk up to you and tell you to move and push you, and you could kill them, now you got white people killing black people talking about, hey, this black dude was walking up on me and a minutes
Well,
away.
we already had that. We already had that.
I
Kyle
showed you.
Rittenhouse.
You did
I was in
no,
support of.
no, no.
I
That
was in
has
support.
nothing to no,
I
no.
was in the support of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Two
I'm not gonna.
totally different situations. Two totally. People keep talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse had a gun pulled on him. They literally
No, he had a
had
skateboard. He
no,
went state.
no.
No, he illegally
Bro,
possessed that
did you
gun.
watch the court case where
I saw it.
the
Yes,
gay
yes.
guy admitted he pulled the gun out on Kyle Rittenhouse?
I didn't see that. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
And
You
then
are right.
they chased Kyle Rittenhouse. Then
Yeah,
they tried
and
to
the
hit
video.
him down
Yeah,
with a skateboard.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Another dude tried to like run up and hit him. And then Kyle Rittenhouse, he fell on the ground. He did a like bell
Okay,
roll. Hit a
Let's
dude.
move to Trey.
So
Let's move
that
to
has nothing
Trayvon
to do.
Martin. You're right.
That has
You're right.
that has nothing
Trayvon.
to
What
do.
about Trayvon Martin?
Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman, in my opinion, was totally wrong. George Zimmerman he pursued Trayvon Martin.
Same thing, right? It's kind of closer to this. This is closer than this, right?
Now, no, what I'm telling you is Trayvon Martin is basically Carmelo Anthony would be George Zimmerman in this situation. And Austin Metcalf would be
Well,
Trayvon Martin.
hold on. He was sitting in the spot.
He was
Trayvon
walking.
Martin was just walking through
He
a
was
neighborhood.
walking. Yep, yep, yep.
Legally, you can be there, but the word on the street is like, okay, this is a protected community. Zimmerman was like, I'm the neighborhood rock. Watch, you're not supposed to walk through here. Legally, Trayvon Martin was right, but
Y'all got 5 minutes before I let y'all up, just to let y'all know. 5 minutes and I'll let
they want to go in on me. They want to go in
No,
on me.
they gonna wait though, because we still talking. Okay, Trayvon Martin was walking. George Zimmerman started following him. Let me tell you where George Zimmerman, why he got off. One, George Zimmerman did what Carmelo Anthony should have did. If you got time to reach in your bag and say, touch me and see what happened. Now punch me and see what happened. You got time to reach in your bag and pull out your cell phone and call the police. Hey, dude, I'm at this track meet. These dudes is up on me trying to threaten me and
I
tell me.
get you on that, but this is 17-year-olds, right?
Listen,
Their brain is not. I
but
know.
what I'm
I get where you're going, but like, let's remind ourselves these are kids, and George Zimmerman was not.
but
You're
every
right. You're
but
right,
if
and
you talk
I'm agreeing
about
with you.
But what I'm
I-
saying is, if you're saying they're kids and they made a mistake, I get that. You got to give Austin the same leeway you give Carmelo. But here's where Carmelo, I feel, went
Can I ask this
beyond.
question? Can I ask this one question?
Yeah.
And this will end the conversation. You can bring everybody up.
Mhm.
Do you think this was first degree murder?
I think that, yeah, I think it's premeditated,
First
actually.
degree. Oh my
I
God.
think it's premeditated.
How much time you should get?
I think they give him
Out of
10.
17.
I give him 10.
That's second
because
degree murder. Oh, so
give them,
juvenile life, like a juvenile life type sentence.
give him 10, sit him for 7, let him out on parole for
Yeah,
3.
yeah, a juvenile life sentence, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking this like it's a huge deal, bro. I'm
No, but
like,
you said
I
murder,
understand
first
the
degree
kid
murder
made a
in Texas is like 40. I get so it's a juvenile. I would agree with that.
but the circumstances. I would the reason why I say 10 is because the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Somebody did approach him. They did threaten him. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But what he did was, as a kid, he overreacted. If you got time to reach in your bag, first of all, you
Yeah.
never was supposed to have a knife on campus anyway.
Break
That's the
down the whole
first.
situation.
I'm breaking it down. Art. If there are no knives allowed at events in Texas for school events, you're already in the act of committing a crime. That's like
Yeah.
somebody breaking in your house.
Everybody wants to use that excuse,
No,
bro. I mean,
listen, listen.
that's the whole argument.
Imagine if I broke in your house, then you came at me and I killed you and then tried to say, oh, that was self-defense. No, 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 no. You broke in my house. I was already in the
Wait, they
act of
have, but they have laws that say if I turn around and run out and I still shoot you in your back, you know what I mean? Like there's laws
exactly.
that say
Yeah.
so. So
But those are
you're doing the
dumbass
quarter.
California laws. Those are dumb California laws. We talk
You're
about
doing the
Texas.
quarter law. You're doing the quarter law. But like
Well, that's
I'm
the
talking.
only that's where this is going to be tried in a court of law.
No, but it starts at court of public opinion. This is how you taint a jury. Court of public opinion, me and you should be saying, sitting up here saying, like, you know what? Like what you said now, 10 years, cool, cool, cool. But like what my first impression of what you said was like, damn, let's throw the book at this nigga. You called him. We're getting a whole different understanding. And we usually do this when me and you talk. We don't talk a lot, but when we and you talk, we get an understanding. So I was from the understanding that like you just wanted to throw the book at this little kid.
No,
At this set.
I don't know. I don't think the guy should spend the rest of his life in prison. I don't believe that. But what I believe is there has to be an example made because I don't want to create a
Who should
situation
be
where,
the
hold
example?
on, hold
Him or
on.
Austin?
Let me
Him or
finish.
Austin?
Let me finish. What I'm telling you is we can't create a situation where a bunch of kids are bringing knives to school and they said if someone touched me, I'm gonna stab him in the chest. That creates a more dangerous situation. That's why I know for a fact Carmelo ain't getting off with this because if they let him get away with this, that will
He's not.
create
He's not.
an
He's
unsafe
gonna he's gonna do
situation.
he's gonna be in
Bro,
jail till he's 25
bro,
for sure.
I'm telling you right now, just like I told my homegirl Maggie, you know Maggie, just like I told the homegirl, if someone push you, that don't give you the right to stab them in the chest. If an
Mm.
old 75-year-old lady walk up on me, hey, somebody drinking something in the thing. Come on now. If an old 75-year-old lady walk up and push me, that don't she's touching me forcefully, but that doesn't give me the right to turn around and stab her in the chest. That is not how self-defense
But what
works.
gives what gives her the right to push you though? You
If
don't know
they
her
they
intent.
don't have
You
to
don't.
listen, that gives me the right to call the police and get her arrested.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Yes, it
mm-mm.
does. If
That's not
someone
self
Art.
if
defense. Calling.
someone wait a minute, if someone push you, your immediate reaction, unless you bust them in the face, what you're supposed to do, call the police. Hey, this person assaulted me.
No,
So
no,
the police,
no, no,
you
no.
you
I
can't
don't.
say that
I
because
don't.
people get arrested for spitting on people. People get
I I agree with you saying by law, but if you
so are
push
you
me, if you push me, my
you have the
imminent,
right to kill me.
I know I have a right to defend myself,
No,
and
you have the
my
I'm
defense can be laying you down and incapacitated,
you
making you.
will literally go to jail for the rest of your life if someone push you and you kill them. I gave the example of when I was doing
So what if I'm walking over a bridge and somebody pushes me and I can almost fall over the bridge? Or what if
okay.
I'm walking on the side of the curb and cars are passing down?
They're gonna
Cars are
they're gonna
passing
ask
off.
you. They're gonna ask you, did he just try to push you into traffic?
No, no, it don't matter where you push me. I don't even know where I'm at. My awareness, I have to be aware.
That's your
Okay,
own rule you're making up.
what if he could push me? I slip over a branch and fall on the ground and hit my head. You
Listen,
pushed me.
what's
What if
one
you push me into a
what is
tree?
what is one
What
plus one? One plus one is two. You could say whatever the hell you want to. You could say self-defense, you could say pretense, you could say pocket lint, Lakers and five. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you,
It
but you
don't
place
matter.
see
Black people
see
have a hard time accepting We're not
No,
arguing
Austin,
your preference.
Austin,
We're arguing the law.
listen. Austin played a stupid game, and he got a stupid
And
prize.
Carmelo played a stupid game as well by bringing a
Yes,
knife
there you
onto
go.
the
You're
school
right.
campus.
You're very right. You're
So
very
if
right.
everyone had did what they were supposed to do, nobody would have died that day. If that boy would
Starting
have
with who?
followed,
Starting with who?
starting with
Who we gonna
Carmelo,
start with? Who
starting
we
with
gonna start with?
Carmelo, starting with
Nah.
Carmelo.
It
Yes.
ended with Carmelo. It
No, it
ended with
didn't.
Carmelo.
No.
It started with him. A torrential downpour was coming down,
You're
and you
wrong.
want to
You're
tell me
wrong. You're wrong. It
you
started
don't
with
know if I'm wrong
somebody.
or not.
It started with somebody illegally carrying a knife on
And
into
it
a
okay, and it
practice
started
event.
with somebody doing an illegal removal.
That
That
was
removal
illegal.
was illegal. What
Listen,
Austin tried to do was illegal removal.
listen.
That was illegal.
Okay, let's
They
say
both.
it was illegal. It was legal. But what I'm trying to tell you is when parents send their children to school, we understand kids are dumb. The Bible, your book says foolishness is tied up in the heart of a child. So we know kids do dumb shit. But what we also know is if that boy wouldn't have brought a damn knife to school, no one would have died that day.
It wasn't a night to school.
It was a knife to school. It was
It
a
was
school
it was
event.
10 o'clock.
So Brandon,
He brought a knife to school. All right.
so
In the eyes of the
so
law, man. Look, in the eyes of the law, like an attorney,
Who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking to?
you're speaking
LA
to L.A.
Thorne.
Thorne.
Okay.
All right.
What's up, LA
When
Foreign?
okay, no, what's up, man?
All right,
Listen,
what's up?
in the eyes of the law, he acted with disproportional force. He acted with lethal force instead of less than lethal force because Austin displayed less than lethal force. That does not give you the legal right to use lethal force
But it was
because
Austin and his brother. The police,
he's
hold
escalating
on. The
the
police
entire.
report say it was Austin and his brother. They both approached him. They're
That's not what the
twins.
police report says.
That's what it said.
That's
That's
a
not
fake. I
that's
just
not
read
that's
it,
not
man.
that's not the police
Listen.
report, man.
Hey, Brandon, Google the police report,
Listen,
please.
I've
You
already
got
done
all
it.
it. All right, bring it up. It just came out today. Both the brothers, they surrounded him.
That's not true.
All right. So you think
that's
twins?
not even true, man.
All right. So
It's not
have you
even
ever
true.
met a twin?
I'm
Here
All
we
right.
go.
Are you black?
I'm sorry, but Art,
Hold on.
you're completely in the wrong.
Are you black? Is the guy talking to me? Are you black, bro?
Yes,
Let's be
I'm
What
black.
honest.
does
I'm
that
also a
have to do
military
with
veteran
it?
too.
What does that have to do with anything? That's what I'm saying.
Because I
You
don't.
It
got
doesn't
I
matter.
just
It doesn't matter my skin color. I could be a red Martian for all you care,
because
man.
it bothers me. It bothers me when I hear black people
It
talk.
doesn't.
Black,
It doesn't matter if I show my face or not.
show your face then.
In the eyes of the court,
Show your
which is the
face then,
only
bro.
eyes that freaking
Show your
matter in
face. If
this,
it don't
man.
matter, show
Because
your face.
listen, I'm telling
why
you
does
right
it
now.
matter if
Listen,
he black or not?
listen,
Brandon black and he talking the way he talking. Doesn't
this
matter if
is
the other guy
Well, I
black.
know Brandon. I know Brandon.
this
I
is
don't know
how
you
Yeah,
you
all
either.
right
know.
Who are
then.
you?
Why
Listen,
Who are
can't he
you?
look like
Who are
Brandon?
you? Who are you? Who are
can I
you?
tell you this?
You
Wait a minute. Can I tell you this? This is how you know when Negroes know that they're wrong as fuck. Black people always bring up stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing when they know they're wrong. Like I've been around black people my whole life. If you
Me too.
argue with a
Me too.
black
Me
person
too.
and they know
Me
they're
too.
wrong, they will start bringing up things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We know that. We already know that. So if you argue with someone on this situation, you know it don't. It's like my homegirl Maggie. Oh, well, nobody can tell you how scared you are. I said, well, damn. Well, if an old lady come push me, I can stab her. Why would your big ass be scared
Yes.
of an old lady? That's
Yes.
called
Yes.
arbitrary. You're being subjective. One rule for one person and another rule for another person. That's not how the law works. At least not on our low level. It don't.
well,
listen, Art.
uh,
Let
yeah. First of all, I'm against what Brandon's saying. He have a right to say what he had to say. Matter what color he is, black, white, or the other guy black. But I disagree with Brandon. But the other guy was talking about, well, what color you? That have nothing to do with the conversation.
Yes, it
The
does.
you
Yes, it
know,
does. And you
to
know it
me it
does.
don't. But hold
And
on,
you
hold on.
know
But
it
what I'm
does. You
saying
know
is,
it does.
so what I'm saying is, I kind of disagree with Brandon with the issue of from the police report that showed the guy, the young man Carmelo was 5'9", 130. Did you see? Have you seen that, Brandon? Can you hear me? Hello.
That was a fake police report.
That was a fake police report.
How do you
Somebody
That was
made
verify if it's fake?
somebody
How do you verify if it's fake or real?
because because immediately when the police report came out, the when the fake one came out, the law enforcement from Texas released statements like, "Hey, there's a fake police report going around saying this, that, and the third."
you
Saying
know
that,
that's against the law. A
listen,
fake
wait,
police.
we
Okay,
know
my
we
bad.
know it's against the law, but what I'm telling you, there was a fake police report that said they approached him together, they was jumping him, they broke his phone. He was only 130 pounds. That's all
Yeah.
fake. Carmelo Anthony is 6 feet tall. He is 160 pounds, and he is that he's not. They have his stats are online with sports recruiting sites before any of this happened.
You're talking about sport. They lie on sport when
They
you
No,
lie
they're
recruiting
about
a
not.
age.
player.
Yeah, they lie.
They
They
lie.
say,
They're not.
they,
I'm
hold on,
talking about
hold on. They say that what's his face? Uh, uh,
Bronny
what's
James.
his name? No, hold on. Allen Iverson was 6'1". I remember was 5'10" in real life. I seen him up in man. They lie. Don't believe that's bull crap, man. That's
He's going.
they
I can't even believe he's saying that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Don't do
His
that,
height
Brandon.
does
Come on,
not
man.
really. His
Listen,
height
what
is
I'm telling you,
irrelevant in this entire
what
situation.
I'm you
It
guys
doesn't
listen,
matter if he was 5'5" or 9'5".
listen,
It
man.
does
Mm.
not matter.
We're
The
gonna
simple
have this.
fact of the matter is that, in the eyes of the court, like I was saying before, he acted with He acted with deadly force instead of purport. It wasn't proportional. And any
But he
lawyer,
warned though, didn't he?
Okay,
Wasn't there
and
a
okay,
it
okay.
does
warning?
But
not
listen,
matter. It does not
listen,
matter.
listen,
Everybody be
listen.
quiet.
Hold on.
I
He
want
Can
said
I
everybody to
ask you
don't.
hold.
something?
I
I'm
want
going.
everybody to
I'm
hold on. I want everybody to
So,
hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We're not doing
how
this.
do I put this up on
Wait.
my
Hold on.
screen? Like, what are we
I'm
on?
not. We're not
We
doing
on
this.
we on your YouTube page, Brandon?
Yeah. 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 I don't know
All right, I'm
how
gonna put.
you would do that, but
No, I'm gonna pull this up on my
go
so I can
live
see
on.
it.
If you got like a computer or something, go live on your Facebook and they could hear you talk.
No, we're not worried about it. We
Okay.
are.
Well,
okay.
here's the thing. Wait, let me finish this, guys. Listen. We not only have the stats from the recruitment sites, we have pictures, literally a picture of
So
Carmelo. Stop. Because I don't like people who be ignorant. They know they lying. They try. I hate when someone says this. You have a fact, but no, don't believe this fact. Just believe the bullshit I want people to believe. We're not doing that. Negroes don't control this channel. I control this channel. We have factual evidence that he's 6 feet tall.
What's the
Now,
factual
what is
evidence,
it going to
sir?
produce?
What's the factual evidence,
I
sir?
just showed you. I just showed you. You're choosing. What you're doing is a typical Negro stalling tactic. You're choosing not to accept the fact. So what you're going to keep
Evidence,
on.
sir.
So
Hold on, hold on. My bad,
what
my bad.
you're choosing not to accept the fact so that you can continue to argue from the position that you think gives you an advantage. The fact is this: the boy is 6 feet tall. He is 160 pounds. Even if you look at the boy mugshot, you could tell he's not 130 pounds. But we have not only several college recruitment websites, we also have a picture of him winning a medal, and he is standing in front of a height measuring wall, and it literally has 6 feet. Right?
can you
He's
show?
over
Can you
six
show
feet.
that? Show that. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People, instead of saying, you know what, I didn't see it. No, that ain't true. We ain't gonna believe that, dude. Just say you didn't see it. Then I can pull it up
Yeah,
and
I didn't.
show it.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Let me see.
Wait, Brandon, I want to say one
But this,
thing. Can you change my thumbnail picture, bro? You got better pictures than that.
I don't got no pictures of you.
but
I'm
Brandon,
your friend on
this
Facebook.
entire
That's
Hold
height
it.
on,
thing
hold on,
and
hold on,
weight
hold
thing
on. Before we go to the
is
next
not
thing,
pertinent to the actual thing, man.
no, it's not. But the thing the reason I'm bringing this up is because black folks keep bringing up something that they know is not true to try to be deceptive and try to win an argument. I don't want to do that. That's what makes these arguments exhausting. When you find out the facts and you just keep lying about, you keep telling a lie. Who does? How does that help your argument? Right here. What is that? What do you see on that wall? What do you see on that wall? This is just one. There's another one too where he's winning a medal, and it's a similar wall showing him over
Can
six
you
feet.
show?
We don't know
Can
if he
you,
got on Achilles. He's standing on grass. We don't know what he got
no, we
Here we
don't
on.
even
go.
know this.
Here
Brandon,
we
can
go.
you show the other one? Just show the
Here we
other
go.
one, please.
Can you show me?
Eh,
Okay, wait. Can you show me the picture where you got him being 5'9"?
Yeah,
The
it was
police
a mug.
No,
report. It
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
says
a
no,
he's
police
no.
5'9".
report.
Can you show me a
Yeah,
picture
I don't
Why
know how to
would
showing
go.
him being 5'9" because
why would the police report not say he was different
we
than five
keep
nine, bro?
telling you that, bro. Are you guys
Okay,
retarded?
because they don't go
We keep
around with measuring tapes
we keep
measuring
telling
your
you.
Right.
height.
no
We,
problem, no issue.
When he got arrested,
It's an eyeball. It's
all
a
right,
guess.
man. All right, man.
when
There's
he
no
got
police
Uh,
arrested,
report that says bro's 5'9".
yeah,
yeah,
it is
All
but
right,
five nine
Brandon,
130. That's
Br-
the police report.
yeah,
all right,
that's the police. Can you
all right.
show? Hold on.
I keep telling you guys there was a fake police report. Instead of listening with your ears and using your brain, you're gonna keep saying the police report. The police report you read, the one that
You got
said
the
that
echo. You got the echo, Brandon.
that's not me. That's one of y'all. I've been talking this whole time with no echo. Somebody has a hold on. Somebody has to. That's sin. Sin got that echo. Hold on. Testing. Yeah. Sin. Sin has the echo. Sin, you gotta turn off your playback. That's sin with that echo. But what I'm telling you guys is this: you have to just look at the facts for what it is. Like that was a fake. You read the police report, and I know it was fake because I told y'all they said that they broke his phone. Him and his brother was jumping him, all that stuff. He was 5'9". He was only 130 pounds. Yes, that's what you read, right? I also read that. That is a fraudulent police report. The real police report has come out. But I don't see y'all bringing up the real police report because y'all only went for confirmation bias. What went along with what you wanted to believe? I've read
So
both
what's the
of them.
real? So what's the real police report saying? How tall
It,
is he?
it don't say. That's what I'm telling you. It don't say.
Oh my. Yeah, but the
Can I
mugshot is different than every police
Brandon,
report, right?
can I have a word,
All right,
Brandon?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Brandon,
We
Brandon.
gonna let we
Let's
gonna
say
let
he was
Shiva,
7 foot tall.
let
Do that.
Shiva go.
Let's say he was Kwame
No,
Brown.
no, wait.
Does that mean he got to fight every day? He don't want
Wait
to
a minute.
say Kwame.
All right, go ahead, Shiva. We go ahead.
Peace, peace. I'm curious a couple things. Now, do you concede that he did have reasonable cause to be under the canopy, given that it was pouring rain? I know your initial position was you thought he might be attempting to steal something along those lines, but it's. I mean, even the deceased father, when he recounted the events, he concedes that it was pouring rain. So I think that's important. Number one, that would make sense why uh, Carmelo would seek refuge, and I would imagine others under the canopy. Um, Now, this question concerning his biometrics, I don't know. I think it's ironic because the Hodge twins video you showed, they were using the police report, which sort of claimed that he was 130 pounds. But even if I grant you he was 160 pounds, according to recruiting websites, college recruiting websites, the deceased was 225 pounds, right? So we have a disparity in weight of what's that, 65 pounds.
Okay.
That's significant. I think when we come to this question of what kind of force was used, this is speculation till we get all the facts. We know the deceased grabbed him, right?
Mm,
I
mm,
would submit to you if someone grabs you around your neck,
mm.
that is a choke. That is a strangle.
Okay.
That is, and this is pure speculation, which we're all doing. But I'm trying to make a point. If that's the case, then I think that changes the tone of things, and perhaps he would be. There's an
Sin, you got
echo.
echo. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So I think till we have confirmation on where he was grabbed and how he was grabbed, assaulted, if we're going to use the legal term, then I think we can make sort of a conclusion on what force is proportional. Also think what dialogue ensued. It seems peculiar to me that things sort of escalated from touch me, see what happens. Hand is sort of submerged in a bag, a parcel. Punch me and see what happened. And sort of the deceased sort of acquiesced to these things. Um, I think this question of his hand being in the bag and he says, punch me and see what happens. To me, that's a warning. I don't know why I mean, we could speculate. I don't know why the deceased sort of felt the need to initiate any further contact after that point. But I think ultimately, I think there are a lot of gray areas, and both sides are sort of leaping to conclusions.
I don't think there's any gray area. I think that you're gonna argue for what you want to see, but if you're honestly looking at the police report, if someone says, "Hey, get out of my tent," and you immediately pick your bag up, reach your bag, touch me and see what happens. Then the person touches you. Then you say, "Punch me and see what happens." And then the person grabs you. I don't think if you got your hand in your backpack, you're about to just let someone grab you around the neck. And the witness said he grabbed him to try to like take him out the tent. I don't know who grabbed somebody by their neck like this, because it would have to be like this, right? It has to be like a rape choke where you're grabbing somebody around the neck with your two
But
hands.
but what's
And
the point of
nobody,
him even? But what's the point of him even
what?
touching Carmelo?
Listen,
What's
man.
I mean?
Wait,
No,
hold on,
but hold
Gino.
on, Brandon. Hold on. Another thing is,
Hold on, let Brandon finish
Listen,
his
man,
thought.
guys, why do black men got to start jumping in? What's the point? I'm going to come to you. What's the point? Yes, we're going to get there. What I'm saying is this: it will literally have to be a rape choke around the neck for it to be a choke, okay? I'm 100% doubting that this boy tried to do a rape choke on this boy and pick him up and drag him out the tent. That don't even make sense. Even if he did reach out and grab him by the neck like this, at what point is this boy able to come up with a knife and stab you in the chest and pierce your heart? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But what I'm telling you, I think the boy grabbed him like by his shirt or by his arm, and when he grabbed him by his shirt or by his arm, bro came with the other arm and was like, bam, hit him in the chest. That's what I think happened. But what I'm telling you is, either way, what y'all don't want to accept, and I noticed that black people, this is the one thing we never address. Why the hell did Carmelo Anthony have an illegal knife at the school event? See, because that's the one thing that's gonna sink this dude. Y'all don't want to accept it, but as much court as I've been in, this is what's gonna sink him. You were breaking the law. You brought an illegal weapon to school. And then you use that weapon where every other law abiding student at that track meet would have had to either use their hands and feet or go tell somebody in charge. You had a third option, which was to pull out a knife and stab somebody to death. And that's what you did. So not only did you bring it in illegally, you also used it. Used it. I don't care what y'all say. It's like somebody going to. It's like you going to a. It's like you going to an under 6 foot. It's like you going to an under 6 foot and under basketball league, and some dude get let on the court who's 6'7", and he jump up and dunk, and he fall and crush some little guy under him and paralyzes the dude. They're gonna be like, bro, why were you even here? Like, you're not even under 6 feet. There's no reason that knife should have been there. And that's why what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna create a situation where they definitely make it premeditated. Because if you argue, well, that white boy should have never touched him, you're saying Carmelo came with a knife with the intention of using the knife if somebody touched him in a way that he didn't like. That's called premeditation. Think about that.
Yeah, premeditation, according to certain legal analysis I've heard, is out the window because according to the arrest report, Carmelo complies with the police and then he proffers voluntarily, not allege I did it, is that self-defense. Then he goes on to ask the police, is he okay? Then when he gets into the car, he starts crying. This is evidence to show.
Now you're being too smart for your own
Hold on,
good.
let
That
me
has nothing
can
to
I
do with
finish?
free. That
Can
has
I?
nothing to do. You did finish, because
I
what you
didn't.
just argue has nothing to do with premeditation.
Of course it does, because it goes to state of mind. If premeditation is the intent to kill, premeditatively, you go there with the intent to kill, right?
yeah, it's gonna be
Now, if that
manslaughter.
hold on, if that's the consideration, you don't say, "Oh, is he okay?" and start crying. And this is just a police report. I've heard legal analysts say, "Well, this does speak to his state of mind," and you can logically argue his intent wasn't to kill, but to neutralize whatever threat was
Okay,
going. Real quick,
so
hold on. neutralize whatever threat was going on, or try to honestly defend himself. If he
Okay, so
overreacted, all that's given.
say if Carmelo had a gun, right?
Hmm.
Carmelo's back up off me. Bro, come up
Right.
at him. Carmelo pull a gun out, pointed at him, start waving the gun. Back the fuck up. Bro, Carmelo, when he stuck his hand in his bag and said, touch me and see what happened, at that moment in his mind, he said, if this dude touches me, I'm going to kill him. And when the dude touched him, he killed him. That's premeditated.
Yeah,
Because if you tell this guy, touch me and see what happened, and you know you got a knife, bro don't know you got a knife. So you're telling yourself in your mind, if bro touch me, I'ma stab him. You gotta
so
make that. You
But
have to
Brandon,
make that
but
decision.
hold on, Brandon. So my question to you is, if I come to you, right, and say, and you mess with me, right,
Right,
and I say, man, touch me and see what happened, right, and you much bigger than me, right?
right.
I said, touch me and see what happened, right, and you say I'm bending down over my bag, and you touch me. What do you think gonna happen? You won't see in your mind like, damn, he probably got something in that bag.
I
It
get
it,
it.
it, it won't come to your mind. If I tell you touch me and see what happened, and I'm bending down to my bag and my hands in the bag, in the ammo bag, which will you be brave enough to touch me?
Brandon,
No, I'm not.
Brandon, Brandon, you're
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
same
wait,
person.
No, answer my
guys,
question. Don't
guys,
Brandon.
guys. We gotta let one thing. I got you next. All right, listen. But what I'm telling you, G Lacan, and this is where I want you to understand the perspective. Once you tell me to touch you and see what happened, right? You've
Right.
already made up your mind that whatever's in your bag, you're gonna use it, right?
And
If
you
you
gonna
Hmm.
touch
touch me.
me, wait. In your mind, you said if bro touch me, I'm gonna do
Right.
something to him with
I'm
whatever's in
agree
his
with
bag.
you. Right.
That is
Uh-huh.
premeditated murder because you've already
Okay,
made
but
up.
who
You flag.
But
You
Brandon, Brandon,
look.
can I
Wait a
say
minute.
this?
Wait a minute. I got you next.
no,
Because in your mind, you've already made a plan. It only takes a second to make a plan. And when
I
and
agree
when
with
you
you.
make a plan, that is called
Uh-huh.
premeditated. So,
Okay,
bro,
what if I agree with you?
no,
If
that's
I
fine.
agree with you, but I'm asking you as the one who going to touch me. Will you touch me if you know I'm premeditated to kill your
No, but
ass?
I've
What's up with
already
that?
said, Austin was wrong for touching him. I've already
Okay,
conceded
so who was the wrong? Who started the shit?
the
Austin, right?
no, the person who started the where this
Well,
went left, where this went totally left was in the very beginning when Carmelo brought that knife into
No,
no
the
problem.
no,
No
because
problem.
no.
if
Okay,
wait
let me rock
because
with
if
you. Say, yeah, I
Carmelo
agree with you.
because if Carmelo never brought that knife, there's no
Right.
ability for anybody to get stabbed. It would have been a
So
fist
so
fight.
it would have been a
Brandon,
fist fight that Carmelo, who just
Bra-
say if you would have found out Carmelo was 5'9", 130. Just say if he was, and the dude was 225, 6'2",
Right,
6'3". Now, you know that's like Floyd Mayweather fighting Mike Tyson, or even
right,
you know what I'm saying. It's not even a fair match.
right.
As yeah. So
So if
my question to
it's
you is,
okay,
my question to you is, if you don't know, but you just assume that I got something in that bag, you personally, are you gonna mess with me if I say touch me, and you know this guy's 5'9", 5'7", whatever the
as
case may be?
as a
Little,
17-year-old boy, I
you'll still
probably would
be.
have.
Brandon, Brandon, can I,
Look,
Oh my God. What's that?
me and my friends would have jumped
Brandon,
your ass anyway
Brandon,
at
Brandon.
that age because you wasn't no rival team coming in our shit. It don't matter if it was thundering and helling out in that bitch. You go to your stuff. But what I'm coming right now to you, Art. But this is what I want to tell you. When that boy said, "Touch me and see what happens," okay, the first law of nature is self-preservation. If you 5'9", 130, and a big old 220-pound boy come with his brother, with his whole team, you on enemy ground. Just common sense would tell you, hey man, let me just get the fuck out of here before one of these
No,
dudes fall off and do
no.
something to me. But like
So
I
you
keep
blaming
telling you,
on him?
the
You blaming on
black man,
Carmelo?
listen, the only reason why you guys looking at think that Carmelo shouldn't have
No.
walked away is because the black man ego will not allow him to take any
Brandon,
offense
Brandon,
and walk
And
can
the
I?
away.
white man ego or what? No, but the white man ego said, hell
Right.
with that knife in that
Yeah.
bag. I'm still
Yeah.
going to touch you though, right?
100%,
I'm white and I say
100%,
Huh?
so. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't just a black man ego; it's a white man ego. He's like, I don't give a damn what's in that bag. I'm going to touch you. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah,
saying the man ain't gonna sell. I agree with you, Brandon. He gonna get some time,
because
especially in
if the white
Texas.
man, because if the
Yeah,
white man knew that you were carrying a fucking buck
he
knife,
knew.
he probably.
He knew
How did he know if the boy had a knife?
Brandon,
Come on now.
Brandon, can I
because
say
he
something?
said touch me and his hands in the bag. He could have. He know black people crazy,
Bro,
so he would have
everyone,
known that black man brought a gun or
but
or
no,
a
no,
damn knife.
no, because
So he
you
gonna
know
say, "Oh, that's
Brandon,
a
Brandon,
dumbass Negro."
Brandon,
that's not a
Brandon,
Come
normal
on,
thing in
Brandon.
school, man. Kids
Stop.
ain't
Brandon. Can I
walking
say
around with
one
knives.
thing?
Go
Brandon,
ahead,
can I
Art.
say?
Go ahead, Art. Go ahead, Art.
All right, you told a story the other day. This is your story. You said you went to school with a gang called the West Side Longos,
Yes,
Uh-oh.
and you said that you used to take a gun
yes,
to defend yourself
right,
from the West Side Longos, right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't wake up every morning thinking I gotta kill the West Side Longo if he come up
Shit,
on me.
I did wake up
Hold
thinking that.
on, hold on. I know.
That's why I put
But
guns in the bullets in the guns.
I listen. But your thought was I'm gonna defend myself.
No, my thought was if one of these dudes try to, if I'm walking to school or walking to
Uh-huh.
home and I see
Uh-huh.
a car full of West Side logos rolling past and they jump out, I'm about to start dumping.
Exactly. So this is why this guy carried a knife
The
because
man was
in
in
his
Texas.
mind.
Brandy, you
ho-
ever been to Texas before?
Hold
And
on. Can
guess
I
what?
finish? Can I finish
I
my?
And guess
Can
apologize.
I?
what?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I want to ask Brandon this question because he understands this coming from this language. If you knew you took this defense mechanism to keep these guys up off of you, and you said, "Look, I'm about to take this today," and he probably took that knife 100 days. Just
Mm-hmm.
that the 101st day, the 101 day, he happened to use it because he said, "When I go here, these bullies, the West Side
Mm-hmm.
Longos, as you explained it, be doing stuff over here in their territory."
Right.
So if he just so happened to use it, is it premeditated? Listen, I'm asking you. Did you wake up in the morning saying, "Look, I'm about to kill a West Side Longo"? No, you said, "I'm waking up every morning to defend myself."
But what I'm
Cause
telling you, but you just asked this question 3 times in a row, so let me answer it.
yeah, I
What
did.
you got to understand is we had a history with the West Side Longos. It
You
was
don't know his
no,
history.
hold
You don't
on,
know his.
hold on, hold
Right,
on.
right, right,
It's
right, right.
already been proven that these dudes did not know each other at all. That's
Exactly.
already been proven. So what I'm telling you is we had
But
a
it's
history.
also
Wait a
can be
minute.
proven.
Bro, why are you saying but is? You made your statement. Now let me
Yeah, yeah.
answer it.
Let him
No, I
answer it because
really
I
haven't
got
talked.
no. Let him
I
answer.
haven't really.
Let
Bro,
Brandon
you said
answer.
the same question 3 times in a row. Now you saying you didn't talk.
No, I really haven't been able to talk, bro.
You haven't let me answer, then you can talk.
But Brandon, this whole conversation started with me and you doing this on Facebook. So it's like I feel like
But you asked the
you're not
question
even
though. Let him answer.
okay. All right, cool.
You asked
Go
it
ahead.
right. You asked the question. Okay,
I
so
got you.
we had
I
a
got you,
history
man.
with the West Side Longos. I actually got jumped by some West Side Longos with my gun, but didn't feel the need to pull it out, which was funny because I knew they wasn't gonna try to kill me because one of them was a dude I knew and he was in my class and he didn't jump out with no mask or nothing and he ran up on me like and swung on me. Right? I was like, oh, they trying to catch a fade, so I just started throwing hands.
Mm.
What I'm telling you is, we're not saying when Carmelo jumped up and put the knife in his backpack in the morning, right? We're saying when Carmelo reached in his bag and was like, "Touch me, see what happened." Bro, as I'm saying, "Touch me and see what happened," I'm backing up out of that bitch so I don't gotta use the knife. I'm already in retreat. Like I don't want to have to get one of these white boys and take them out.
But wasn't it raining that day? It
It,
was raining
Yeah.
that day, right?
bro, are you
Torrential
more?
downpour.
So
It was
you
a
tell.
torrential
So
downpour.
you're gonna see. This is what I'm telling you. Where Negroes be making no sense. You're telling me these white boys is so scary, but they not scarier than a couple of raindrops hitting a nigga. Come on, man.
What? What you mean? No, what I'm saying to you,
That's
Brandon. No.
black people are that afraid of raindrops now.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
soaking. Why be soaking wet when that
Uh,
tent
Bro,
don't belong to
if
nobody?
we release
Why?
the dog
mm.
in them stands, all them niggas gonna run. Fuck the rain. They gonna run to get away from that dog. Black
To
But
people.
find
Brandon. But
shelter?
Brandon.
Come on, Brandon. Get
Oh
out
my.
of here.
Brandon.
Brandon,
Brandon.
Hey, if I
What you?
may, Brandon.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Wait,
Yeah,
wait. Are you done, Art? Art, you want to make a
No, I
rebuttal to
haven't
what
even
I
got
said?
started because this conversation was between me and you.
Go ahead,
And
bro.
then yes. So what I'm saying is this. right? So you're trying to tell this guy he should retreat, he should do all this. Listen, they live in the age of social media, something we never lived in. Imagine cameras is probably flowing. He probably feel like I gotta be a tough like I gotta stand my ground in his mind.
Right,
Touch me and see
right,
what happens.
right.
Like, why would you
I
man,
don't get to stand your ground when you're in their area. I could see if he was in his
it's not
own
your
area.
area no
Who
more.
say it's
Hold
not
It
your
on.
was
area?
their
Hold
area.
on. When the
That's their
torrential
team's
when it's
area.
a torrential
It
downpour is
doesn't
coming on.
matter.
Hold on.
Bro, if somebody
Did they
starts
pay
shooting in the
for the
club,
area?
if somebody
Yes.
starts
There
shooting
you
in
go.
the club, it was the area that was designated for them. If somebody
Yes,
starts,
and I'm ducking. If I'm ducking, if
listen,
somebody's shooting in the club
you
and
gonna
I'm ducking
run.
behind the
It
car,
don't matter if it's red.
hey, if I'm ducking behind the car and they shooting, and you tell me you can't duck behind this car,
This is how I know
what
that
the fuck?
Carmelo was. Listen, this is how I know Carmelo was not in fear for his life. Because if Carmelo would have saw a big ass bear, bro would have ran. That's when you in fear for your life. You run. Oh my God, I'm out. Uh, now,
Wait.
yes, yes. If someone's truly, if that white boy would have pulled out a desert eagle on Carmelo, Carmelo would have ran. That's when you're
Okay,
in fear for your life. In fear for my life is not touch me and see what happened. You're provoking.
and that's the
You're
problem.
provoking at that
That's the
point.
problem. Austin never feared for his life. He
He
thought
didn't. I don't think he did.
yeah, and he thought Carmelo was playing.
But wait,
Carmelo was.
The way Brandon said it makes sense. I understand what Brandon's saying.
I
No,
definitely understand what Brandon's saying. I
but that's what I'm
definitely
trying to
understand.
tell you. You can't argue. I was in fear for my life, yet you talk
Right,
about
right.
touch me, see what happened. Touch me,
Yeah,
either you were standing your ground or you were in fear for your life. But if you're standing your ground,
yeah,
that
you're right.
the person has to come at you with deadly force. Then you smoke them, whatever. Like the dude, I showed y'all the video of the white boy in
No, I
Texas.
don't want to. I don't want to get back in the rain, Brandon.
No,
Brandon,
man. So
I
that
don't
means,
want to go
so
back in
that
the
means,
rain. Listen,
listen. So that means
touch me,
So that
touch
means
me.
you listen. So that
All
means
right.
you were willing. Wait, when he's sitting in that jail cell for 10 years, he gonna wish some raindrops touched his ass. I guarantee you.
No, I get it. I get it.
So
I will
you're
give.
not gonna.
I give him. I give him
You're
some time.
entertaining nonsense at this point,
I'm
trying to
not.
make
I'm
me
not.
think that some boy is scared of raindrops to the point where he's got to take a life. That don't make sense,
Nah,
bro.
No.
he wasn't scared. He was just like, yo, man,
He was being a
I ain't
tough
about to
guy.
be bullied. No, it was more
Yeah.
not
Right.
so much about tough. No, it was no tough guy. It was like, look, man, I ain't about to be budged. You know, listen, Brandon, those white boys down south is different than those niggas down. I never been to California, but I'm in Jersey right now. My dad, I grown up down south since I was 17. You know, I know how those white boys think different down south. You know what I'm saying? And I heard that that wasn't his first time having a knife in his bag though. Carmelo, wasn't he? Then he had. Then he got caught. I don't know if it's true or not. They said he got caught like a few months earlier of
Yeah.
having a knife.
Let's
Yeah,
not do
he
that. Let's
literally
not do
was
that. Let's
suspended.
not do that. Let's
He
not do that.
literally
What
was
the hell you
suspended
mean?
from
Let's
the
not
school.
do that.
Which let's not
Nah,
do what?
because
The man was
No, but
everybody
no,
suspended.
wants to
only
bring up
Hey,
his
excuse me.
past.
The man
no.
was
What I'm
suspended from
saying is,
school for a week. So why are we
yeah,
not
what I'm
doing
saying
that?
is he's probably fair of those white boys. I mean, he probably was like
Can y'all
scared.
hear
You
me?
know, what I'm saying not so scared. He was like, "Yo, I'm here by myself." Probably he was probably among because I was
Five
down
nine
south.
No, he wasn't by himself.
five.
He went to that tent purposely. He wasn't by
Right.
himself. His
Wait,
classmates
hold
were
on. He
there.
went to the. Hold on.
It was an
Explain that to me.
event.
Can
He
I get
went
my
to that.
word in,
Hold
Brandon?
on. No, he went to the tent purposely. Explain that.
Won't say.
I don't know whether he went to the tent purposely or
He
not,
You
but
did.
I
said
He
it.
know
You
did.
said that.
it was a tracking event, and he probably was a group of his peers there.
This track.
He actually got away. He ran away. If he would have just ran away from the jump, this would have been evaded. This would have never happened.
Mm.
Right. After he stabbed Buddy, he ran and threw the
No, he
knife.
didn't run. No, he didn't
Yes,
run. He
he
stayed right
did.
there. He
He
stayed right
ran.
there to the.
He
Okay.
ran.
Yes.
He ran.
Can y'all
Yes.
hear me?
If I hey, listen, if I fuck up one of y'all, I'm gonna run to safety to make sure I'm safe.
So
If
why
I
not run to safety before you stab somebody?
no,
All
because
the white boys was like, get
look,
off my
Brandon,
shit. They
Brandon.
weren't gonna
If
chase him. They
listen,
just wanted him
Brandon.
to leave.
If me and you, you're a big guy, bro. If me and you get into it, and I end up getting the best of you, I'm going to run the safety because everybody else is either going to run to you to protect you and make sure you okay, or they're going to be like, man, let's go get this dude that did that. He didn't run off
No.
the campus.
But
He
why
could have
didn't
left.
bro run to safety initially? Like, all
He
right,
did not.
do this on me, let me get
Not
down.
because they're kids. He's a kid, bro. He's 17 years old.
But bro can
He,
understand. Bro can understand running after he does the crime, bro. Come on,
yes,
that don't
yes. Come on, man. This is a
Yeah, I
kid,
see where.
man.
Nah,
Brandon,
but
Can
Brandon.
y'all hear me?
go
You
ahead,
but,
Chief.
but,
Can I
but,
get my
but
word in,
we already hold
Brandon?
on. What Brandon's saying makes sense. You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on,
At
bro. You
first, I
gotta
didn't
let
really
others
believe him,
speak, bro.
but at the end of the day, old buddy gonna get some time in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I
it's not gonna
agree.
be a
I agree
long
with that.
time, and I think it's gonna be
I would hope
manslaughter.
not. I would hope not. I
Second.
would hope
What
not.
you mean? You hope it's going to happen, homie? That's
No, I would
Texas,
hope
homie.
he won't. I would hope he do like get out at 25. Yeah, he gonna do some
Yeah,
time.
he'll get
I
about 25.
Yeah, I think he should do some
Can
time.
y'all hear
I'm
me?
not saying. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not saying I don't think this guy should do no time. I don't think he
Okay.
was in the wrong. I'm not saying he was totally right. But at the end of the day, man, just like the things that I
Right.
see. Hold on, somebody's phone is fucked up.
If
That's
it was
Mose.
your
Mose, you got back.
he did the right thing. If it was your child that was murdered, would it
It
be
was
murder
wrong.
No, on
Yeah.
or
both
would it
ends,
be
on both ends,
manslaughter?
on both ends, on
No,
both
I'm not
ends.
asking. That's not what I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking if that was your child, how would you feel, and would you want a kid like that at your child's school?
On both. Wait, hold on, hold on. What are we talking about? We talking about the white kid or the black kid?
The black
We're
kid,
talking
Carmelo.
about
Would
your
you want him
kid.
at your school?
Do you have
Carmelo, would you
kids?
want Carmelo in your school?
Yeah, I wouldn't want him
Uh,
at my school.
I wouldn't want the white boy at my school either.
That's not what I asked. I
Would I
asked
want
if that was
Carmelo
your
at my school?
Yeah,
Would I
with the
want?
knife. Yeah,
listen
with the
to me.
knife in his
If it was your child
who got
who
stabbed.
were stabbed, how would you want the jury to rule?
Yeah,
Well,
Manslaughter or murder
manslaughter, manslaughter,
manslaughter.
for your
manslaughter.
child?
Yeah,
But your child
yeah.
was murdered though. It wasn't
No,
manslaughter. Your
no.
child got
Well, my
murdered.
my 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 child had no business. See, listen,
Putting his
I'm
hands
a
on him.
father. Hold on, listen. Can I say this? I got two
Yes, sir.
boys. I raised two boys. They live
Brandon,
with me.
can others speak, bro?
Hold on.
Well, he asked
Let
him
me
a
finish.
question. He got to answer it.
I got two boys that I raised, right? And I can look at it on both ends. Yes, I wouldn't want my son to be Austin. And no, I wouldn't want my son to be Carmelo. But what I would tell both of them in life, and because both of them are gonna have to sit down for a while. One is dead and one is dead and one's gonna have to sit down for a long time. I would tell both of them, you could do that, de-escalate this situation. Go get an adult. You're 17 years old. You're not entitled to remove nobody from anywhere. And you're not entitled, go get an adult. And listen, everybody in that stadium felt them kids. I'm not taking the kids. I'm not throwing the kids under the bus. One kid both of the kids lost their life. Ruined. My only point is this. Remember, they are kids, man. These
I
are
think Camelo getting
kids.
Yeah,
off.
but one kid went past the point of being a kid by bringing a knife to school. See,
No, the other kid went
all right.
back.
Calm down, man. Calm
Hold
down.
on, hold on.
No, you just
One
making
kid went
statements.
back beyond it.
You
You
just making
cannot do a
statements.
removal. You're
Listen, what
not,
I'm
if
telling
you're a
you,
kid, you cannot remove anybody from anywhere.
kids
You're a
have been
kid.
listen, man.
Mhm.
Kids have been messing with kids since the beginning of.
Exactly.
Hold
And
on,
and
bro.
this
Hold on. When you send your kid to school, there are rules at the school that every single kid has to abide by. Now
Man,
we
Brandon,
understand that there are
moving the
bullies at
goalpost.
school. There's bullies at all white schools who bully
so
other
what
white kids.
so
Wait a
what
minute.
rule?
Wait a minute, bro. I don't need
I
a
got you.
ad libs. So we understand that, right? But what I'm telling you is this should have been a fist fight at most.
How can
At
you
most.
tell me what a fist fight should be?
Can I
That's
finish?
weird,
Can I
bro.
finish?
Yeah,
Can I
Hold
that
say
on.
is
something
Let
weird.
me
real
finish
quick,
my statement.
please?
That's
Listen,
weird, bro.
let
You
me
can't
finish
tell
my.
me what a fist
We
fight
don't
look
need
like.
listen, guys.
I don't want a fist fight. I don't want to.
Why is the black man so emotional that he feels like he can't let another black
You're the
man
one
talk?
emotional, Brandon.
No, I didn't interrupt him. I didn't interrupt him. Only time I interrupt when he said the same thing 5 times in a row. Anyway, what I'm telling you is at most this should have been a fist fight. Because if Carmelo Anthony never broke the law, there would have never been a knife on campus. That's the part y'all not
A fist
understanding.
fight with a big twin there.
But y'all don't understand. It don't matter how big he is because if you don't want to fight him, you could just run away. That's the
Hey,
choice. That's the choice. Listen, listen. In any incident, you got two choices: fight or flight. That's the response to your body: fight or flight.
Can I ask everybody a
Carmelo
question real
Anthony,
quick?
bro, can you wait a minute? Damn. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The only reason Carmelo engaged the boy is because Carmelo knew he had an advantage of having a weapon. To me, that takes away the self defense because if Carmelo would not have had that weapon, he would have ran away because he didn't want to fight the boy. And if he was brave enough to fight the boy, he would have never reached in his backpack to go for the weapon, bro. I just told y'all my example. I had a gun in my backpack. Longos jumped out. I wasn't deathly afraid, like they're gonna kill me. And the dude ran up and swung on me. So I said, okay, I can fight. I got some fight in me, and I'm not scared. Now, a scary person pull out a gun or a knife and start trying to stab somebody. So you only had courage because you had a knife. You never planned to defend yourself if something happened. You planned on killing somebody if they ever approached you. That's why
Did
I
they
say
ever
it's
find a knife?
premeditated. Yes, they did.
When?
They found it that day on the scene. He threw it in the bushes
Why did they find it?
because he threw it in the bushes.
Yeah, they tampered
He tried to hide it.
evidence. The
He tried to
Right.
hide
evidence
it.
was tampered. Yeah.
And he also told
They
them.
tamper with evidence. What are you talking about?
Well, did you read
Now
the
you
police
freestyling,
report?
making up shit,
Yeah, I don't
bro.
think
Come on,
Brandon read the
bro.
police
Go
report.
ahead, Forrest Drive. You making up shit
Mhm.
and bro is making up
No,
shit
we're
too.
not. I'm not making. I
They
bet you
the
can I say
police
something,
tamper with
bro?
evidence.
we can
The
get the
police
police.
tamper with evidence.
Go get the go find a police report,
You
and
go
then
find it because I already read
no,
it.
Prove it.
no.
But
Listen to
but
what I'm
but
saying,
but the
Brandon.
guy said he did stab him, so who care about the knife?
No,
I mean, the knife
Carmelo
is
threw the
here.
knife into the bushes.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
you.
the bushes
I
when he
mean,
ran. He ran,
even if he,
threw the knife.
Another thing is this is Texas, right? And if you think about
There
it,
we go.
Texas is a state that
Where you could take a knife onto school campus. I know what you coming with the lie. You told this same lie last time.
and listen, listen, Brandon, because just like I told you, you keep on moving the goalposts.
I'm not moving no goalposts.
Now,
You're
listen
trying
to what
to
I'm saying.
force a lie down our throat that we're not going to accept.
You the other day you said that the black boy was stealing in the tent, right? That wasn't a fact. Now the only goalpost that you need to try to move now is that the black boy bought a knife. And if we're gonna look at hypotheticals and we're gonna look at how this black boy is pictured, the black boy is pictured as an upstanding student. If you want to look at, and I'm speaking from a person that's coming from a dumbass joy, they're gonna look at this black boy and say, man, this is a clean cut boy. Because he looks clean cut. He looks like he's a non-violent boy. He looks a total opposite of what you described this boy from the beginning. And if
man,
anybody is emotional, you've been the only one really that's been emotional. And I respect your opinion that you want this little black boy to fail, you want this little black boy to do time, but he's not going to do time, bro. He's not.
man, he
He's
gonna do
not going to do
time, nigga.
time. And then
Man, that's tough.
you forget that this is the DA. This is a These are people, the attorneys, the DA is people who paid by the state. They're not going to beat no paid attorneys. They're not going to beat no paid attorneys. And you keep on bringing up the knife. How many, and every boy in this chat can remember the first thing we taught as little boys when we go play outside is we're going to have a little pocket knife. We go join people who join the Boy Scouts. They was taught to have a knife.
Ain't no boy got taught that. Nobody told me it when I
No,
was going
listen
to
to what
pound.
I'm
I
saying.
take a knife with
No,
you. That's
that's but
lying. That shit.
if you grew up in the country, if you
You
grew
made
up
up
in the
a
country,
straight lie, bro.
if you grew up in the country, if you grew up in the country, as a little boy, when you went outside to play, the first thing your parent probably bought you was a little pocket knife, little utility knife that you kept in your pocket. That little boy, Carmelo, he probably bought just like the dude said. You can bring a that he probably bought that weapon 100 days before that. That 101 day he used it. Sorry to tell you, Brandon, that he probably gonna get time served at the most, and probably what a assault with a deadly weapon.
Man, that's bullshit. If
Can,
that dude bond was
can
$1 million, ain't no way
Bruh said an
he gonna
assault.
come.
Bruh said
Ain't no
an
way what?
assault
Ain't
with
no
a
way
dead.
what? Go ahead,
Bro
finish what you.
never been to
Ain't
jail.
no way
Well,
what?
hold
Assault
on,
with a
hold on, hold on,
deadly
hold on, hold
weapon
on,
is
hold on,
high as dead.
hold on. The reason why they did the $1 million bond was to make it go a national news. There's no way that that should have been $1 million bond. No way.
I would
Yeah,
say
you're right. You're
absolutely
right.
not.
Hold on. Bond is set on your rationale to pay it, bro. Go look up the legal
yeah, that's
way
true. It is irrational. Yeah, you're right.
to make $1 million bond. That was they did that to make it to where it wouldn't go. Like they tried to suppress it,
Right.
but and they're trying to suppress. I don't know. This is a weird case, bro. And Brandon,
You guys also know that the kid,
It is
the
a
white
weird case.
boy, because nowadays school is a lot different than it was when we were going to school, right? Social media is a big part of it. And the white boy has uh, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on all those social media platforms, he's on there shooting guns
Yep.
in full camouflage, shooting
Yep.
automatic rifles, pistols,
Yep.
all kind of stuff. I'm sure
But what's
everybody
that
in
got
that
to do with
school.
Carmelo though? We trying to.
But what I'm
He's
I
saying
mean,
because
is,
Carmelo
you
didn't
know
know. He didn't know.
his
Both
last
of them didn't
conference
know
I
with
each
know,
other.
but
Dad,
you're not
it
letting me
went
finish
nutty.
though. All
Oh
I'm
my
trying to
bad.
say
Go
is
ahead.
that there's also a possibility that the reason why he didn't give that guy an opportunity to just have a fair one, a fist fight, is because hey, this dude may have a gun. He's a gun enthusiast. His father's a gun enthusiast. You can go right on his social media platforms, and all his platforms are littered with
Wait a
uh,
minute, Africa. Wait.
rhetoric
You're an intelligent
and
person.
violence.
You're an intelligent person. Carmelo didn't know this guy from Adam. So how in the world would Carmelo know anything
Yeah,
about him being a gun enthusiast?
How did he not know him from? How did he not know him from Adam? Maybe that's a
Because
piece of
they
the
said it. Have you
pie
said
that
it?
I don't know.
They
You do,
said it.
you do know they said that that was the main lie that was being spread that him and Carmelo Anthony, that him and Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf knew each other. People magazine released an article. The news said it repeatedly. These two did not know each other. They had no
Okay, well
prior
that's
history.
something I didn't know. So thank you for clearing that up. I honestly did not
yeah,
know
that's
that.
true.
But what I'm
Right.
telling you is this: we could talk about the white boy and his propensity for violence and all that. The white boy didn't bring a knife to school.
Well,
No,
yeah, but
he
he
didn't
brought
bring a
his
knife
twin
or a
brother.
gun.
He brought his
and
twin
I'm
brother.
sure, and I'm sure Carmelo isn't the only kid in that school that carries a knife every day. I
So
mean,
if you,
school is different
It
now,
it's
doesn't
man.
not. So
matter.
what I'm
He
telling you is
brought
this:
it.
School is
it's
different now.
very hard, but it's very hard for you because what we're doing here now is we're trying to say Carmelo is a good guy and the white boy is evil. That's what we do, and that's okay. People do.
That's not what we're doing.
That's not what I'm
That's no.
doing.
That's I'm saying in general. I'm saying overall. That's what we do. But what I'm telling you is this: no matter what you say about that white boy, the white boy was ready to use his hands, right? Carmelo
And the
learned.
black guy was ready to use his
But
knife.
the white boy was wrong for even coming at him the
Oh,
way he
one
did in
hundred
the
Right.
first
percent,
place.
100%, 100%.
I
I
But
don't want to
but but
fight.
Brandon, if for instance, right, just say right, if it's true now, right, 220 and 130, that's a deadly weapon. If you use
160.
your hand, hold on. Just say if it's true that Carmelo was 5'9",
But
130,
we
right?
know that it's not
Hold
true.
on, hold on. Just say if it's true.
I'm not
A
speculating on
two
something that I know is not
no,
true.
but you
How do you
haven't
know
proved.
that?
I don't know.
How?
We've already,
No,
now you being ignorant. We
The
just
But we
police
nah.
can't just
report
add stuff
the police
that ain't
report say
real.
5'9", 130.
no, that's a fake police report.
How we know it's
What?
fake?
Oh my God.
What?
Show,
Google it
show
right
it.
now.
No,
Google it.
Hell,
show it right now. Show it right now.
Right.
woo.
So,
We're not doing this. We already talked
no,
Now,
about
of
we
course
we're
we
doing
ain't
this.
doing it,
We're
but
doing it.
so we just talking out of thin air. If you said one
no,
thing,
we're
the
not.
truth, show the proof.
I pulled up the stats. I pulled up the
Nah, but
stats.
that don't look
No.
real.
Police
All right.
report is way
That
different.
didn't look real. The police report y'all talking about is fake.
Uh,
How do you get a fake
Man,
Listen,
police report
listen.
though?
You show it,
exactly.
Africa.
A
You need to
fake
know that
mugshot.
people
How
should
you get
know
a
each
fake
other.
mugshot?
So okay. So what the whole audience sees here now is what we
Show the
already know.
mugshot.
Most black people are operating off of pure misinformation. You show them the actual truth. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to acknowledge it because the black
You
argument.
showed us some. You
Listen,
showed us some.
the argument from African American people is hinged on misinformation. So if we were to
So
take this to the court and the real information was presented, every black person would be like, oh,
Well, do you
oh,
know it's
I didn't know
against the
that.
law?
it
Listen, it's against the
is
law
against the
to
law.
make a fake police report.
We know
It's
that.
against the law.
We
Big
know
time.
that.
So
Okay,
who made a fake
who did it?
news
Yeah, who
report?
did it?
Probably
Yeah,
the same person who made a fake Instagram post where Austin Metcalf was said, "I'm going to kill me a monkey tomorrow at that track meet." And
Okay,
black
so
Exactly.
and
show
black
So you
people
know
show
and
the
he was
black
doing
mugshot.
that stuff.
no look and black people were circulating that around. Oh,
All
look
right,
what
then show the mugshot, Brandon. Show the mugshot.
which one?
So just type up Carmelo Anthony
This right here.
mugshot.
This right here.
That look like a mugshot picture, and
But
they just put that thing in the background. That don't even look real.
bro, do you see the
That shit
boy?
don't even look
Do you
real.
see the boy shirt? Do you
Look,
see the
look,
boy shirt?
look at his face. His face look guilty. That brother face look guilty. Nah, that's
Hey,
a
Man, he got a whole goatee.
Where you get
He
that
look like a
from,
whole
B?
grown man.
nah,
That's crazy.
he looking
Hey,
sad as
that's
hell.
AI.
Hey, on
Come
that
on,
mugshot,
bro.
boy was looking sad as
dude. That's
hell.
AI, homie.
That's
Listen.
AI. Come on, bro.
Show the
Look at his
mugshot,
shoulders.
Brandon.
Look at his
Show the
shoulders.
mugshot.
Look at his
Show the
shoulders, bro.
mugshot, Brandon. Show the mugshot
Okay,
report.
damn.
All right, go to it. It look like the same picture as the damn mugshot picture.
Mugshot.
Yeah, the white boy, he definitely looked like a bully.
No,
He
what I want you to do is type up.
he looked like a bully. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, the other one, he had a whole beard. Whole beard. Where's his beard at?
What the hell? There was no beard on that man's face.
Yeah, no. The six two. Go to that one.
There
The
was
six
no
two.
beard on that man's
Hold
face.
Go
on,
to
go to
that.
that.
Go to
No,
that.
no, no, go.
Go.
Which one?
Yeah, go there. Go. Nah.
He,
You was there.
he might have
No
been 130.
mugshot. Go.
He might have been
That's
130
not
to
his
his fit.
mugshot.
This one
Nah,
is
show the
now.
mugshot, homie.
I already showed the
He
mugshot.
looks small. He looks small in the body. I don't know why you
Yeah, that's a
just
nice
looking
young
at him.
man.
He looked like a small cat
Probably got a good GPA on his way to
Hey, I ain't
college.
gonna lie to you. This white boy don't even look like he 220. He looks skinny as hell.
because
He
he
do
Well,
look
tall.
kind of small,
He's
though.
rather tall.
They
well,
was
we
the
saw
same
his brother.
height.
His brother
They
is
the
living.
same height.
His brother
Man,
said he
go to
was
the
living.
mugshot, Brandon.
And I mean, in all actuality, it is sad that he lost his life. But you should have
Yeah,
never
it
just
is
jumped
sad.
out the window like that,
All right,
though.
that's the mugshot. Go inside that.
Go
Use
inside
your
it.
mugshot with show.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
That look like that's a grown man. That's it. Come on, bro.
This a
Come on.
grown
What's a
man.
grown man?
No, the football picture.
Man,
Look at
listen,
that
man.
and go to the
He
football
looked
picture.
I'm
terrified,
telling
man.
you, if you look at the football picture, it looked like
Go where
Oh
he
Carmelo.
had
man, you
on number
talking about
36.
They
looking at
was
the
guys.
football
Look,
picture.
look,
Look
look,
at the
look.
mugshot.
This
He
is
Go to
looks
the
look, look.
mugshot.
No,
remorseful
wait a
and
minute.
terrified.
Wait a minute. If you look at the if you look at the football picture and then you look at the mug shot, it
He
looked
don't
like
have no hair.
Carmelo.
He
It
don't
looked like
have no hair
Carmelo
on his
started
face.
wilding out. Look,
He don't have no hair on his face.
Man, go to the mugshot, man. Quit talking all that.
No. Go to the
Let's
football
just
picture.
support our young brother, man.
Go to Carmelo. Man,
I just don't understand why Brandon wants to throw this. He's not the typical Pookie and Ray Ray. That was the only thing that me and Brandon
Absolutely
got.
not. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
that was the only conversation me and Brandon started off with. Like he wanted to throw this young man under the bus, like, oh yeah, he's just a regular nigga. Like this is what niggas
there's
do. And I'm like,
no way.
nah.
There's no
No.
way we know. There's no way we could know what this boy was into. I'm gonna be
And if
real with
he had that
But
knife, he
you
had it
did.
for a reason.
you. This boy
Hey,
But
is
what we
listen,
do
listen.
know is the
Hey, Brandon, can I ask you this question?
go ahead.
Was he raised by his mama and his daddy? Two-parent household.
I guess.
Yeah, I
The
believe
white
so.
the white boy, hold on. The white boy was not.
What does that have to do with anything?
No,
Ooh,
but when we go with this Pookie and Ray Ray analysis, we gotta say that the white boy probably
yeah.
was a little bit more emotional than the black guy. He wasn't raised by his mom and his daddy.
he's raised by his father
Mm.
though.
No, his father, when you look up his record, was convicted
Bruh.
rapist.
N-
Convicted
That has
Whoa,
nothing
rapist.
to do. Hey, look,
Hold
bro.
on.
Niggas
Y'all
looking at
don't
this
want to look
picture.
this up?
Hey,
Y'all
niggas
don't
looking
want to
at.
go there, huh?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey,
Whoa.
listen. Niggas was looking at this picture right here, talking about Carmelo was
Uh-uh,
5 foot
uh-uh, uh-uh,
2,
uh-uh.
112 pounds. Niggas will look at this picture talking about he was only 5'6", 115.
No, but
Oh,
Brandon,
hell
my point is, you wanted to stereotype this black guy. I heard you, man. You called him Pookie and Ray Ray.
You know I
He,
was joking.
I know, but that's dangerous. It's
Oh God.
dangerous what you did.
Oh, what's dangerous is sending your kid to school with Carmelo Anthony.
No, also it's dangerous sending me to school with Austin. Austin. With a whole bunch of
Austin
I,
was
Austin.
if
looking.
I send
He
my
was looking for beef that day. He was looking for some drama.
Yes, man. He wasn't raised by his mom and daddy. He
Hey,
was
Bro,
going through a
I just
divorce.
don't understand why y'all said, listen, man, fights happen at school every freaking day.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Brandon,
Where do
it's
you get
different
this
today in
from?
2025, though.
No, it's not. It's
It
Yes, it
not
is,
is.
different.
though.
There's fights every day in 2025. Kids ain't getting stabbed in
I
the chest.
agree with you, but at the same time, you can also see on, and I'm not saying that Carmelo saw the kid's social media, but he could have heard it from a friend, a buddy, whatever. You can see what
Right.
people are into when they
Right.
go home after school is over. And this dude is into racial stuff and busting guns, carrying pistols, letting off automatics, wearing full
He don't want to
fatigues from
Brandon don't
head
want to
to
admit
toe
that.
like he's
Brandon
going
don't
to
want to admit
war.
that. Brandon doesn't want to admit that.
You know,
This
in
guy,
the climate right now in America, when you see a white dude acting like that, I mean, come on now.
he comes
Guys,
from a single he comes
bullying.
from a single parent home, the white
And
guy.
he come from a single parent home.
Yeah, single parent home. You know what I mean? He's emotional.
All right,
You
man.
know,
All right. When white kids start stabbing black kids in the chest for walking up to them looking menacing, just don't say nothing.
oh man, man,
Just
please.
don't say nothing, bro.
Hey, what year do you think? Like 2055? Like how many
I,
years do you think?
I think,
It ain't gonna happen because these
when,
young black brothers defending themselves
Yeah,
now.
come on, man. Come
what
on,
are you
man. Be
talking about?
honest.
Black people is doing crime against other people like crazy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. But when do we
Yeah,
just go
brothers
up and stab?
defending themselves.
When do blacks just go up and just stab white people,
Bro,
bro?
there's no, listen, I'm telling you straight
When do
up.
we like?
I'm telling you straight up, there are fights every day at schools all over the country. Bringing a knife to school and stabbing
When do
somebody.
blacks just go up and stab white people,
Why?
bro?
My question is this: we could all talk about what Austin should have did, and that's okay. Why don't we talk about how this boy should have never brought a knife to school? Why can't?
Because
Why
he's
can't?
black.
Because it's
Yes.
irrelevant.
Because he's
It don't
black.
matter.
Yeah,
Because he's
it
black.
is irrelevant. Yes.
That's not
Because
irrelevant.
black culture is fucked up. We got to talk about that. That's amongst us. That's something me and you need to talk about. But what happened that day has nothing to do with that. Like for you to throw this black boy under the bus has nothing to do with me and you should talk about. Black culture is fucked up. This had nothing to do with that though. This is not a black culture thing, Brandon. That's
No,
what I
it's
want
not.
you to understand. This was a weird situation that happened. Brandon, black culture is fucked up. I will agree with you on that. And I'm with you on fixing it. I want to fix that with you, bro.
How you gonna
But
fix it? How you gonna fix it when you teaching our young boys that if somebody come up to them and try to push them or do anything, stab them? Let me read this super chat.
no, no.
Let me read this
Go ahead.
super chat. Yo, this is Texas. What happened to stand your ground? If you don't want to get shot or stabbed, keep your hands to yourself. Eric G, thank you, my brother, for the $5 holler. Guys, we got to get this notion out of our head that if someone's bullying us, we have a right to stab them. That's not the way. Most say, go ahead, brother. We ain't let you talk.
Yeah, the medium household income in Frisco, Texas is $126,000. 50% of the people there own their homes. So this is a pretty affluent area. I don't think it was no Pookie and Ray Ray type of stuff going on. However, we can't teach our children that it's okay to stab someone if you get your hands put on you. Throw some hands back. I don't care what nobody say, because if it was your child, you would think the same way. That's all I gotta say, bro.
Yeah, you know we was raised if you get hit, hit back. Not if somebody hits you, stab them in the chest. Like I just don't understand why black people have devolved down into this level of like this is totally vengeful thinking, man. Like you're telling your kid to go kill somebody in what could end with a basic fight or go tell a teacher. We used to tell our kids if somebody hits you, don't even hit them back. Just go tell somebody in charge. They was like, why couldn't Austin Metcalf go tell somebody in charge? Well, damn, why couldn't Carmelo Anthony go tell somebody in charge? Hey, would
Well,
you
But this
stop
wasn't a
me?
basic fight.
It
well,
wasn't.
see,
It was a super fight. They was
Yes, it
ninjas,
was because he was. You don't know if it was a mob underneath that tent or not.
and neither do
uh,
you.
but Brandon, we can't have it both ways. You see, black people say, "I'm not my ancestors," so you can't say like, "I'm gonna turn the other cheek." Did you want him to turn the other cheek?
Yeah, I did.
I
I want.
know, but
I wanted
listen.
him to whoop that white boy's
That's
ass
why you
All
with
right,
got
a
big
so
hammer.
cheeks,
now we
Brandon.
got to start.
You need to
Now we
lose some
got.
of them cheeks.
Listen, I wanted him to go. This is what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to go back to his tent, get 5 or 6 big ass
He didn't
black
even
men.
have a
And
tent, bro.
He didn't have a
This
tent,
no,
was
you
Brandon.
don't know that. You don't know that.
uh,
That's a fact, Brandon. That's a
the
fact.
That's
police
a
report
fact.
came out. Have you read it?
Yes, I've read it. It didn't say nothing about tents. Only that he was in a. The police report said that he was
It
Them
under.
white
wasn't
boys
even.
don't own that tent,
Are you
Brandon.
gonna let me finish? Are you
But
gonna
you're
let me
not
finish?
saying facts.
Are you,
Stick
bro?
to the facts.
Listen, man. I am sticking to the facts. Each school has a canopy.
No, no,
No,
Didn't
no,
they just?
Brandon. That's
no.
Oh
not a
my
fact.
Not in
God.
the stands. Not in the stands.
What are
Not
you
in the
talking,
stands, Brandon.
bro? Stop.
Not
All
in
right,
the
you never
stands,
ran
bro.
track. You never ran track. You're a baseball player.
You didn't
If
run
you
track
go,
for them either,
I threw
Brandon.
shot put. I threw shot put and discus. I was on the track team.
In Long Beach. This
Listen,
not Long Beach.
listen.
This not
Every track
California.
team
This is
has
Texas.
a canopy, bro. Every track team has a canopy
Man,
in the
stick to the facts,
stands.
Brandon. Stop moving the
I am
goalposts,
sticking
bro.
to. I'm not moving anything. So let me finish
First, the
my
boy was stealing in your book. Now,
point.
the only thing you can use is the weapon.
Hey, Brandon.
Come on, Brandon.
If I told you something, bro. Do you know I was the fastest 400 runner in the city of Long Beach in
Man,
2001?
listen,
I
and
don't
listen
know
to
if you
that.
noticed. Like you
And
said,
listen to that.
I played baseball.
I
Anyway,
don't know. I just made that up.
I know. I was like, why did you say that about me? I was the fast. Anyway, I'm not gonna repeat that. But go look that up. Ask somebody about me. Ask 'em. I
So
know who
you
you are. You know who I am,
so you
bro.
know that everybody at a track meet got a tent. You know that.
No, not in the stands, Brandon.
In the stands.
When I first heard the story, I thought this happened like on the grounds.
So
Yes,
what
we
if it
all
so what if it was
in
the
the
white boy
stand,
tent? What if it was
huh?
the white boy tent? What if his daddy gave money and they got a tent and put it in the stands?
It's impossible
How?
because it's a public. Cockendall Stadium is a public school stadium, so we one can't exist without the other existing, bro. You can't say it's a public school stadium and then say you got your own part of the stand. That does not make sense unless you pay.
Yeah,
Let me get my
yeah,
sister's comment.
exactly.
Let me get my sister's comment. Deidre, thank you for the 4.99 super chat. My son went through the same thing. A white boy picked and threatened him for days. My son didn't think to kill him. He fought him, and that was all. Exactly. We we
Bingo.
we're robbing our children of their innocence by trying to turn them into murderous hooligans. And let me tell you how cowardly. Most of the black men up here ain't gonna stab nobody for pushing them. But that's black people. Black people love watching other people crash out. See,
You forgot about the other big twin, and you
hold
forgot
on,
about the other white
hold
kid.
on, real quick. What I'm telling you guys is we
Brandon,
gotta
you're
hold
using.
on,
You,
hold on.
this is not
We
fair what
got
you're doing, Brandon.
we got to be better than the generation that came before
I
us,
get what you're saying,
because the
Brandon.
generation came before us that came before us, they was cool with watching the young heads crash out, so they could have access to the young girls that was our age, and we'll be locked up in prison somewhere. I'm not
Man,
passing that. I'm not passing that legacy on to the
Okay,
young black men beneath me. Yeah, if somebody touch you, stab them in the chest and go to jail for the rest of your life. We're not doing that.
he
Y'all
not gonna
okay,
be in jail. He
but
gonna get that time served what he doing now, and he gonna bring his
Brand,
black ass right on home.
Forrest Drive gonna
Brand,
go try to get with old girl too.
Brandon, what you're doing is not fair, though.
Go
Like,
ahead.
all right, let's make these white boys black. Let's make them gangbangers, and let's keep Carmelo Anthony a square. He's sitting down, and two gang members come up to him and say, "Look, this is the blood section. You can't sit here. And if you sit here, I'm going to not only beat you up. So, should he fight the Bloods or the Crips? Should he fight them, or should he get them up off of him? We don't know what they have. See, you're
Absolutely
making
should have fought him.
you no,
Absolutely.
no, 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 no.
100%.
Should he put out any weapon he had against him?
He
No.
should have definitely. He should have fought him with his
Hold
hands.
on.
Because don't stop asking questions. Then saying, "Hold on now."
All right, got you. I got you, Brandon. I got
But what I'm
you.
telling you is, listen, man. If it was my son, I'm gonna tell my son, look, man,
Do
use
you
your
have
hands.
sons, Brandon?
Listen, if no, but if it was my son, I'm gonna say
Exactly.
use your hands. My daughter wouldn't even have tried to stab nobody. My daughter would have freaking slapped that fool. And if she took a whooping, she would have came and told her
If
daddy.
a if a man tried to physically remove your daughter from under a tent when it was raining,
My daughter would have literally left that tent and then went and told somebody in charge. My daughter has
that's
common
true.
sense.
That's true. That's true. And I'll give you that. And I don't want to bring our kids into this, so I don't want to do that.
I won't
But
bring mine into it.
these are kids, Brandon. Like these
That's
are
what I keep
kids.
trying to tell you. And you guys are trying to rob kids of their innocence by basically turning them into
No,
murderers.
but you want to throw this guy under the bus, like
I'm not throwing him under the bus. Well, how am I throwing him under the bus? I say he should get 10 years, 7 months
okay,
in jail,
okay.
whatever in probation. Y'all
Well, this is how our
celebrating.
conversation started, man. I thought you thought this guy was like throw him under the bus, don't
He
nobody
was.
defend
It
him.
was like that the other day. He accused the black boy of stealing under the tent.
Yeah, he said some crazy
He said
shit,
some
man.
crazy shit.
And this
Him and
Brandon is my
him and
friend,
the
bro.
country bumpkin yesterday, and the boy that just left. Man, they was saying some crazy stuff yesterday.
Yeah,
John
They
Gay
was
was
yeah.
saying some crazy stuff. And
Hey,
And
John
he,
Gay, come back up here.
each day Brandon emotions is getting less and less when the facts come out.
Let me show
It's
y'all
getting
this.
less and less. And just
Let me
like I
show
said, the
y'all
only
this.
goalpost he
no,
can
this
move
has nothing
now
to do with this,
is the
Let
Brandon.
me
knife.
show y'all this. Let
Don't
me
do
show
this,
y'all this.
Brandon. Don't
Let me
do
show
this,
you. Don't
Brandon.
tell me what to do. Let me show you this.
He said do something to
Let me
this.
show you this. This
This is
boy,
supposed to be my fucking
listen.
all
Let me
right,
show you this.
go
Here
ahead.
you go with
This
some more stories.
this
Here you
kid
go
Right,
with
did
some
not.
more
right. Has
stories.
This
nothing to do
kid
with
did
this.
not
These don't have
stab
nothing to do with
nobody.
the thing.
He ran up on it with his shit
He,
pack.
somebody get him. Somebody get him.
These guys,
Somebody get Brandon again. Here you
no.
go.
Now this right here, this is what the YNs is doing. This is what the innocent
All right,
YNs
imagine
is
Bra-
one is
doing.
white. Imagine one is white. Make the other one
Oh, if
white.
they was white, it'll be
Brandon
in
Whitlock,
national
man.
news.
Brandon Whitlock.
Listen, look.
Nah, I'm a black conservative,
YNs,
but
bro. They
hey,
innocent.
Brand.
They
I'm a
babies.
black conservative too.
I know, but Brandon, you making it hard on us, bro.
I ain't
Pause.
It
making nothing
is,
hard on
man.
you. Hey,
It is,
listen.
man.
Let
You
me
Hey,
read.
saying
Brandon, man. Hey,
Let
man,
me
I
read
love
my.
what you're doing, man. I'm gonna support you, but man, and I like your different argument. But come on, man, you just making yourself
Let
for
me read
future
my
references,
sister's.
man. You just make yourself more and more ignorant, man.
Yeah, let me read my sister's super chat. I'm a track coach, and we do put our own tents in the stands. That's every track team. that's what I don't like. We argue against
it don't make it legal. It don't mean anything by
what?
law. I
What?
can
No,
go under your
Oh,
it's not
tent.
oh,
illegal. It wasn't
wait,
illegal for him to do so, but his actions
what?
afterwards, he could have went just like he
No,
ran
you
away.
can't remove
Yeah,
me. You
no, I
can't
didn't say he
remove
could.
me from a
I
public
didn't say
spot.
that he could
All right,
remove you.
what
I
high
didn't
school
say
did you
that.
go to?
I went to Cabrillo and Long Beach Poly, bro. You
Okay,
know
I
that.
went to Cabrillo. I went to Cabrillo, right?
And I
You know,
graduated from Long Beach Poly.
yeah,
I was a track star. Hold on. I was a track star at
but
Long
what
Beach
you
Cabrillo.
but what you
And
know
that's
for
why,
a fact.
okay.
What you know for a fact is, if Polly and Cabrillo had a track meet, y'all was not coming up under our tent, bro, and we wasn't going up under y'all tent. That's
But if
unheard
a
of to me.
torrential downpour was coming, and we're all from the
Hell
same
nah.
city.
Go walk
No,
up under
hold on.
y'all
If
tent.
it's raining, we're all from the same city. I knew you. I grew up. I played
Whoa.
basketball at the Boys and Girls Club. We know each other.
Hey,
We're from
shout
the
out.
same.
Wait, we
God.
gotta let John Gay talk, but real quick before he talk, shout out to uh Zagalita. He just sent me something. Texas authorities have a video of Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony confrontation before the fatal stabbing.
Show it,
Authorities have
please.
reportedly collected video evidence of the confrontation between two Texas teens that resulted in a fatal stabbing during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. Okay, so let me tell you guys this. Let me just put
Well,
this.
hold on. Do they got the video?
No, they don't got it. They haven't released it yet. But what? Let me tell you this.
So what
If
was the
they
point of reading it?
wait a minute, bro, God, dog it. Listen,
Nah, fuck
if
that,
you
Brandon.
hold on,
This whole thing was
Art,
me and you
Art,
talking, bro.
be
All right.
civilized, man. Listen,
I
if
my
they
bad.
if they saw a video and they still charge bro with first degree murder, I don't think it's looking good for bro. Go ahead, John. Galt or Galt? I'm sorry, brother.
John Galt, yeah.
Galt.
Oh,
Okay,
that's my boy John Gall. What's up, man?
John Galt in the building, baby.
You
The
know,
OG.
um,
The
you know,
OG.
I've long thought it looked bad for the young boy. Um, I've almost went so far to say he premeditated it. I think his family damn near sank his ass when they sank him when they tried to say that he was being bullied, because that would kind of lead to premeditation, that you go to your bully with the knife. So you see they backing off that bully. Then they tried to say that both of the boys were attacking him. I don't think that's true. They put this high bond on him. They got probably dozens of witnesses that are saying that this was out of proportion. That's what it seems to be to me. And so I'm a landlord, and I rent to a lot of blacks and in Washington D.C. And one of the things that I've seen over the last 30 years is that blacks don't want to live around other blacks. And the problem becomes is that their behavior, if they can afford to live in, say, a white neighborhood, their behavior just doesn't change overnight. If I bump into a black man, it's different than if a white man bump into a black man. It could be some racial undertones to that. And a white man telling a black man to get out from up on the tent, it hits a little different to a black man. So you have to wonder, why do these successful, affluent blacks have to go to these white neighborhoods? The school's mostly Asian, white. Were there any black neighborhoods where they could have lived, where their child may not have been put into that environment? That's my
So what
question.
exactly are you saying, John Galt? Because I live near DC. I grew up in DC culture.
I
What
live in
exactly are you
DC.
saying?
We can tell. We can
I
tell.
live in
Yeah,
DC.
A
John.
bunch of
John, what are you?
crazy, a
What
bunch
are
of
you actually
crazy
saying?
Negroes.
What are you saying, John?
What I'm saying is that, like, you know, somebody got feedback. Um, you,
John,
you, you're taking black kids, you know, and you putting them in an environment where the culture is totally, totally different. And he's in the minority, right? He wasn't even on his camp, on his side of the track. He's probably had one black buddy on the other side on the other team. He goes and hang out up on their tent. And it's just, they're out of place. Blacks act differently around each other than they do around white people. I have to somewhat segregate my black and white tenants. Just the other night, I had the police come to my house. It was all blacks. They fight, they argue with each other. None of them moved immediately. White people would have been gone almost immediately. I got to get the hell out of here. I can't deal with this black dysfunction. They can't mix like oil and water. Sending that black boy to the school, listen to the black mindset. You touch me, I got the right to kill you. That's out of place in Frisco, Texas. It may work in DeSoto because niggas know not to touch you when you say, you touch me, something gonna happen to you. Niggas know not to touch you. But you put him in Frisco, them white boy probably never in a million years could have fathomed that that nigga would pull out a knife and stab him if they touch him.
Hey,
Two
can
different
I?
cultures,
That's
culture
a
clash.
fact.
Hey, John
And
Call.
can I
John Call.
iterate on that
I
real
know.
quick?
I know. Oh, real quick. I know what you're saying. Hold on, Art. Real quick. I know exactly what you're saying because okay, so where I live in California. In I live in Los Angeles County. In Central California, there's this little town called Oceana, right? And there's a town next to it called Pismo Beach. Me and my uncle went out there because my uncle, me and my one of my uncles went out there because my other uncle married a white lady, right? And he invited
And
us
you
to
like
come out
white
there.
ladies too.
Okay, he invited us to come out there and chase the little white girls and have fun on the
Right,
beach.
exactly.
This
Your
when we
whole
were
family is coons.
this is when we were younger, right? So I was about 16, 17.
Young
So
coons.
so we go to a club called the Grand, right? It's kind of it's like a 17 and up club. So we go to this club, we having a good time. We go out the club, we end up getting in a fight with some Mexican dudes, right? We beat up the Mexican dudes, and my uncle, he said, you know what? The Mexican dudes tried to jump us. My uncle was like, fuck that. I'm about to go to the car. My uncle went to the car. Obviously, we from LA, so he going to get that fire. He going to get that iron, right? They trying to jump us. A black dude who was at the club looked like he was older than us. He stopped me. He said, "Bro, they don't know nothing about that. Don't even take it there, homie." I get exactly what you're saying. Different places have different culture. Black people go into a place where they're the minority and they expect other people to operate based on their culture. In a black community, you hear shooting, you duck. You start shooting in the white community, they might be like, "What the hell is that?" and get freaking gunned down because
Right.
that's not what they're used to. So I understand what you're
But
talking
Right.
about.
but we're raised in white culture first.
You are from DC. That is the cesspool of Negro culture, dude. It don't
Not
get
no
no worse.
more.
A
Not
bunch
no
of
more.
feminine,
Listen,
liberal, sissy boys.
I mean, and this is the thing that blacks. I mean, on one hand, they want to say the American culture, white culture, whatever. But from what I see, blacks are rapidly like cleaving off into their own separate culture, and the language is becoming very distinct. Clearly, the way that they respond to provocations is different from other races. And
I don't
I
know what you're saying, John Galt.
well, you look at how many blacks feel like if you touch me, I have the right to stab you.
Black.
You
No,
look at
if you
some.
touch me, if you, look. I said it yesterday. I said it yesterday. I had three children. My oldest one, my son, he violently got killed, and I'm on the D.C. Baltimore end. I'm quite sure you can tell in my the way I talk, right? I
Okay.
grew up in DC culture, but I ran mostly in Baltimore area, and I also did security. The first thing I stand by this, I teach my children first thing not to get emotional. Somebody call you nigga, man, let that shit fly by, whatever. Like I keep it moving, get yours. But the moment somebody put their hands on you, that's it. You
No,
do
that's
whatever you do whatever it takes to get them off you.
in your mind. In
So it's
your
okay to
mind.
stab them. We got it.
Wait,
It's good.
wait. In your
Yep.
Brandon,
mind. Just one
Yep.
second. This is what I'm telling you. Do you guys not see how the black community is devolving into savagery? We used to say white people were the savages. Now we talk about if somebody touch me, I'ma kill them. Bro, do you realize how deranged that sounds? Oh,
It
Well,
somebody
wasn't a
touch
here to
you,
fight though, Brandon. It
here's
wasn't a
the
here
thing.
to fight.
you
Here's the
could
thing, though,
walk
Brandon.
away.
It
Here's the
wasn't a
thing, though,
here to
Brandon.
fight.
Here's the
Okay,
thing, Brandon.
go ahead,
Here's the
John.
thing,
Go.
Brandon. I was a software developer. I am a software developer. And it's the thing that I had to learn was like abstract thinking, abstract patterns and stuff like that. And self-defense and legal and murder, second homicide, that shit is so nuanced that you could be on the edge of self-defense and then be first-degree murder. And I think that nuance really escapes a lot of blacks. I don't know if they can understand it or if it's just ignorance and they can be taught that. But they're setting a very dangerous precedent, telling
Okay. Hey
people that
Brandon, I don't know
stand
what this
before
guy's
they
saying.
shoot
Is there any way you can go to an actual lawyer and pull up? Is there any way you can get on YouTube? I got a lawyer. Right? A white lawyer. His name is CLR, and I was wondering, can you pull him up and maybe you in the chat can listen to him, to listen to the key points of the case and the actual facts. And he's actually showing the police report, and he's also kind of like breaking it down, right? He's also kind of like breaking it down how the jury may be this, that, and the other. And I was wondering, can you pull it up? Maybe we can listen to it.
I'll pull up a lawyer. Let John Galt finish his point he was
I
making.
think the bigger
He's
point,
not saying anything though.
the
Hey,
bigger
It's just a
point.
waste of time.
Let
No
hey,
that man
one,
cook,
no
man.
one wants
Don't
to
be
live around a
disrespectful,
race
bro.
of people. No one
hey,
wants to
Club
live around.
Love.
No one wants to live around a race of people that will show disproportionate violence from being touched. If blacks are going to go with the logic that if you touch me, I got the right to stand my ground and stab you. Like no
No,
one's
I
going to
gotta
gather
stand. I
around those
got a right
people.
to stand my ground and defend myself.
Well,
And
Let
but
we
that
don't
man
know. We
talk,
don't know
bro.
who was.
his boy stabbed the
We don't
boy.
know if he was in a. He would. We don't know what was going on underneath that tent. If it's a here to fight, yeah, I agree with you all day long. If it's a here to fight, but he's going into a tent, a public tent that he
Where
was
he did
going
belong.
under, that he was
It
going
wasn't
under
his
because it
place.
was raining.
It
And
wasn't
we don't
school.
know if it was. We
You know.
don't know if it was a mob there. We don't know if the other twin
I think we
brothers
know.
wanted
I
to
think we're
jump on. Let
pretty.
me finish, John. Let me finish. We don't know. We can make up all these scenarios, but the fact of the matter is we don't know. If it's a video, and which I don't think is a video, but if it's a video, and just like I said, the boy may get found guilty, but we may just get time served, meaning that his little ass sit in jail until a trial, and then they release him. Either way,
No,
he's gonna live. He's gonna live. He's living to see another day. And
the
the,
fact of
the
the
white
matter
boy
is,
always
like Brandon said, I
and
bet
all
you
due
if
respect.
you
Let
were
me
to
finish.
talk to him right now, he's gonna tell you that he regret his actions. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah,
I
because
bet
he because his
$100 to a
freedom is
bucket of
taken
shit.
away. His freedom.
Exactly.
Everybody's
And
gonna
it
think
didn't
that
have
way.
to be. It didn't have to be taken away though. That's the fact.
Carmelo Anthony had a nigga moment. That I can sum it up as that he had a
Yeah, but he was
nigga
also smart
moment.
because he ran. He was all.
Yeah,
He was
he
smart. He
should have
was
ran before he stabbed the dude.
Thank you.
no,
If I'm
no.
five
You
thirty, if
can't
I'm
just easily
5'9",
turn your
130,
back.
bro. You could back away. You got a knife.
Mm-hmm. You got a
Why
knife.
did
He
he
could
brand it?
have
He
made
Why
them
has a
did
back up.
knife.
why
So
did he
He
what?
could have made
brand
them
the
back up.
knife and say back the f up and back out slowly and get away from the situation? I think the boy was high. If you ask me, they should have
Hey,
drug
Now
tested him.
he's saying you was high. Come on,
Brandon,
stop
let me
moving the
ask you a question.
goalposts,
Hey,
Brandon.
Brandon, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Um, One of the things with self-defense is, I read that in the police report, he had no injuries, no black eye, no swollen, no contusions. So
He did have an injury, John. What are you talking about?
it may have been an
He
injury
had
to
an
his
injury on his.
finger.
He had an injury on his finger.
Right, but that's probably from the knife. But he didn't have
Bro,
any injuries from it didn't seem like he had any they didn't take
Now
him to the
you saying he first you saying he didn't have any injuries. Now that we know he have an
okay.
injury, now you saying
Clarification.
it
can you
probably was
let
from the
can
knife.
you let John finish?
He had an injury to his finger, which likely was from a knife. Typically, when you stab someone, you could cut yourself. But with no injuries, and then you ratchet it up like that, uh, you know, I, I don't see. I see why he's probably still in prison, in jail, because there are going to be a lot of witnesses, and I don't think he was being double teamed. From what I understood, it was only one boy approached him, not two, but I could be wrong.
Man, you
But even
smoking
with
some good shit. You smoking some good shit. Whatever you smoking
always,
on. It
always,
sound like it. It sound like it.
indeed. But
Hey Brandon,
yeah.
can you pull up the CLR attorney, please?
Can
Let's
you
listen to some
let this
facts.
black? This is what I'm saying. You got to be respectful. Let the brother finish his point, man. Like black people will say, "Don't touch me, don't put your hands on me," da, da, da.
Man,
But then they'll sit up and
pull up the lawyer, man.
listen. I'm not about to listen to
People in the
you.
chat is saying pull up the lawyer.
We
Pull up the
not pulling up
lawyer.
your. We not pulling up your tennis shoe lawyer, your ambulance chasing lawyer. We gonna pull up a
See,
real
this
lawyer.
is what I'm talking about, the emotion. This is
But
what I'm talking about, the emotion.
the thing is that
Hey, Brandon,
this
can I say
this was
something?
the this was
Brandon,
the
Brandon.
this was more or less the epitome of Black America. The boy's father was a
Mhm.
lawyer, the mother was a physician assistant. It's like the Cosby's. They say he had a 3.75 GPA, and yet he's still out here acting like a gangster, a YN.
He wasn't acting like a YN.
Wait,
What you
wait,
talking
what?
about, John?
What are you
Okay,
talking about?
okay,
The white boy was
He
acting like
wasn't
a
talking about
gangster.
it. Wasn't,
okay.
the white boy was acting like a
The white
trailer
boy did
trash.
the removal. The white boy did the removal.
And did you see
The
the
sing-
white boy's mother? The white boy's mother made a mistake and called him a bully.
Hey, see,
Listen to the interview.
this is what I don't understand about black
She
conservatives,
called
man.
her own son a bully. She called her own son a bully, the one who got killed.
And the brother said the same thing.
The brother
Even if
said the
he's
same
wrong,
thing.
he said even when he's wrong, even when I'm wrong, he still got my back. He said that. So they used to bullying shit. Hold on, hey son, close it.
Do you know that the family has already walked away from that bullying? Because that bullying accusation will get that nigga home. You do know that. If you're gonna say that he went
Nah,
over there with a knife to confront his bullies, crank up the electric chair for that little nigga. If he was old enough.
But nah, man, you
That's
saying
why
that it
the
was
family.
premeditated.
That's why
no,
the family.
okay.
That's why
This
the
is what I
family is backing away from the bullying, bro. Look it up. The
listen.
family is backing away from
I've
that
been
bullying.
quiet for a minute, but I don't understand this. Listen, when a guy on the train in New York choked a black guy out, right? All the conservatives was like, "Oh yeah, he was right. He was bothering people on the train. He was doing this, doing that." But then this little black 17-year-old was sitting under a tent when it was torrential downpour. Google it. Look it up. It
I
was
got.
raining. It was raining very hard that day. Huh?
Have you ever been on New York train, Art? You know, I'm familiar with you, Art. So yeah, I'm not being confrontational with you, but
Yeah, yeah. Me neither. Me neither. Me
have
neither.
you ever
But
been
I
on the
did.
New York? Have you ever been on New York City train? Yeah, I'm
For
asking you
1 week.
for
1 week. I visited New York 1 week, and I'll never go back.
when that train gets to rolling, you know you can't get off, right? You
Yeah,
to the next stop, right?
the A
And,
train. Yeah.
and so someone gets on there and say, "I'm about to kill me a motherfucker or beat somebody ass. I don't care about going to jail, lobbing out threats." Well, you really don't have anywhere to run. You can't retreat, correct?
Okay, let's compare that to that boy. That boy
Well,
was sitting there in that stand. He had nowhere. It was a torrential downpour. Where was he gonna go? No cars were gonna come pick
was
him
the
up.
rain going to melt him? Was the rain going to
Huh?
melt? Was the rain going
Huh?
to melt?
Have you ever been in a? Did you see how rainy
This
it
ain't
was?
1950 Rosa Parks John
This
Galt.
man said torrential downpour. How dare
That's what
I?
it said. That's what the report said.
Hey, let me do this. Let me do
He
this.
ran in the rain.
I'm pulling up a lawyer. I'm pulling up a lawyer.
Hey, John, go. This is a great conversation, man. You know I know it, man.
John
Appreciate
Galt sound like Michael Jordan. If you close your eyes and just let bro talk, you
it.
sound like Michael
He
Jordan.
looked like Michael Jordan too.
But I'm like, bro could just talk about shoes or the golf or whatever. Just go ahead and knock it out. All right, let's listen to what this white lawyer says. The white man.
Feeling necessary? No, not in this circumstance. Two young men of similar size and strength, athletes, simply grabbing someone is not. Now, might that be an unlawful battery? Sure, I guess you could make that argument that Anthony Metcalf was committing a simple battery. Maybe not, but it certainly wasn't conduct that was
Pause.
likely to
Pause.
inflict
It's
death or
over.
serious bodily injury.
It's
And what
over.
is required for the lethal use of force in self-defense to be lawful under Texas law? That Anthony Metcalf was committing a
We're gonna listen without interrupting. No Negro outburst, okay?
simple battery? Maybe not, but it certainly wasn't conduct that was likely to inflict death or serious bodily injury. And what is required for the lethal use of force in self-defense to be lawful under Texas law? Let's pull it up again. The Texas Deadly Force Self-Defense Statute. For the use of deadly force to be lawful self-defense, the defender here, Karmelo Anthony, had to reasonably believe that the deadly force was immediately necessary to protect against Austin Metcalf's attempted use of unlawful deadly force. Is there any evidence here to support the reasonable perception that Austin Metcalf was threatening unlawful deadly force upon Karmelo Anthony? If anything, there's evidence to suggest that Karmelo Anthony engaged in provocation with intent, deliberately provoking Austin Metcalf to go hands-on for the purpose of having an excuse to use the knife he knew he had in his bag upon Austin Metcalf. If you're ever compelled to use force in defense of yourself or your family, the good news is that if you defended lawfully, you can be very hard to convict. But did you defend lawfully? Because if you don't know where the actual legal boundaries for self-defense are, it's the easiest thing in the world to innocently step over them, and now you're extremely easy to convict. Good news. In just a single day, you can become an expert on the law of self-defense and make yourself extremely hard to convict. On Saturday, April 26th, I'm holding one of my only twice a year full day law of self-defense advanced classes. This class is taught live by me and live streamed to you. It teaches you everything you need to know in one day, and there's plenty of opportunity for personal Q&A with me as well. Even more good news, when you register today, you save yourself 50% off the standard registration, but that discount ends soon. Your 50-year-old young black man fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf, also 17 years old, happened to be white. Both of them were attending a Texas high school track meet. Both the 17-year-olds were in high school, but in different high schools. Karmelo Anthony, the stabber, quickly fled the scene, discarded the knife he'd used in nearby bleachers. He was shortly captured and arrested, conceded to the stabbing immediately upon contact with police, and suggested he had killed Metcalf in self-defense. Actually kind of asked the question, pondered whether it might have been self-defense. So we have some new information now, and we can explore a little bit more of Texas law, and that's our purpose for all of us today. So as I am prone to do, I did do a couple of quick polls on this, one on Twitter. I asked, what likely verdict do you think the police report will support? Now, Karmelo Anthony has been charged with murder, obviously an unlawful killing. He's going to be claiming self-defense, a justification for that killing, which would make it not a crime. So we're looking at either murder or a justified homicide, or potentially somewhere in the middle, what might be a voluntary manslaughter. So we'll talk about all of that in the context of
Can we
Texas
move on?
law
Can we move on?
applied to the facts of this case. What do we got first? Murder. Texas Penal Code 9.02. It's kind of a jumbled statute. So we're going to skip this part 8 to get to the actual crime here. What does it take to have committed murder under Texas law? Well, you commit the offense of murder if you intentionally cause the death of an individual. That's one way to commit murder. Did Karmelo Anthony intentionally cause the death of Austin Metcalf? Well, he stabbed him in the chest, stabbed him in the heart with a knife. You're presumed to intend the natural consequences of your conduct. You stab someone in the heart with a knife, you know you're likely to kill them, so you're intending the natural consequences, their death. That's murder. Now, importantly, it's murder unless it can be justified as self-defense. Self-defense is a legal defense
Can we
to
move
this
on,
conduct.
please?
If you did this, if you intentionally stab someone in the heart with a knife, but you can meet the conditions of the self-defense justification, then this is not a crime. It's not always lawful to kill people. Sorry, it's not always unlawful to kill people. If they're killed in lawful self-defense, the killing of another person is simply not a crime. Or alternatively, you commit murder if you intend to cause serious bodily injury
Basically, this
and
attorney
commit an
saying is
act
Carmelo
clearly dangerous
is
to
scot
human
free.
life that causes the
Time served.
we already talked about murder. Here's the so
This is a waste of
we
time,
already
bro.
talked about murder. Here's the murder statute again. But if we go all the way to the bottom here, we have this paragraph D. Now, voluntary manslaughter typically occurs when you want to cause harm to someone. Maybe you even want to kill them, but you're
Believe it.
acting under what's called adequate provocation. You're acting in hot blood. Unlawful threat to Karmelo Anthony. And here we go. All right. Frisco Police Department arrest reports. Anthony. Oh, it's Karmelo Sincere. His middle name is Sincere. That's nice. Karmelo Sincere Anthony, age 17. The stabbing occurred. Advised it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. I immediately informed Sergeant Otis where the witness stated the stabbing occurred and gave him the crime scene tape to start securing the crime scene. I then had someone move to the walkway under the visitors' bleachers to further speak with me. The following is a summary of my contact. The witness advised he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team and was near the victim, Austin Metcalf, and the suspect, who was later identified as Karmelo Anthony. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin, the victim, had told Anthony, the stabber, that he needed to move out from under the team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. This is provocation with intent, folks. These are facts I had not heard before. The stabber is
Seriously, like,
provoking
how long are we gonna
the
watch this, bro?
victim to use force for the purpose of being able to inflict deadly force upon him. That's the most severe form of provocation, provocation with intent, and loses you self-defense as a legal defense. These are bad facts for Karmelo Anthony. Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told
So that right there, if you listen to that
You
part,
believe that? You believe that? That sounded crazy. That was sounding
that's
stupid.
what's in the police report. I don't think
That's not.
I
No,
don't
that's not.
understand. I don't
Have you read
understand.
the official police report? That's not what was in there.
Man, listen. I keep telling you, black folks. If
I
it
read
if,
that wasn't
Sir,
in there.
stop, Art, you just make yourself look like a fool. This is the official police report.
That's an attorney reading something. That's not
This
what was
is
in
the
there.
official police report that he's reading.
Okay. Okay. So in the official police
But
report,
listen. The way he's saying, excuse me, provocation with intent. That's what I've always
that's not,
understood.
uh.
Listen, man, listen.
That says arrest
it's a
report.
literal.
That
Listen,
says
man.
arrest report. Hold
That's
on.
what a police report is
I
in
know.
Atlanta.
I know. That's the. It's
Okay.
a bunch of
So
them.
what I'm
It's a
telling you,
bunch of them.
you're arguing with a self-defense attorney.
No, that says arrest. No, that says arrest report. That's not the official police report.
Listen,
So
man.
hold on. The
Listen.
official police report would sound totally different.
All right,
It'd
all right,
have.
all right.
Hold
Listen,
on.
that's
Art,
Did
who
you?
arrested him? Art, who arrested him?
Huh?
You said that's a who arrested him? The police, right?
Yeah. So that's one officer. It's one
Crazy.
officer.
bro.
One, hold on. Can I defend myself? He asked me a question. It says Officer Hancock, Officer Alvin. So it's three different names under there.
But Art, I
So
think Art, hold on, Art, so we get through this, man. I think there are multiple officers writing their report on here, but the one
right.
that had the contact with Carmelo is the one I think these maybe reading right there.
Yeah, but nobody had contact with Carmelo. No, they're reading it in three different ways. So one person see Carmelo, he was standing outside the fence. Listen, listen, I studied this shit. He was standing outside the fence on the other side of the gate.
You studied it, so that means you know more than a damn defense
No, no, no,
lawyer
no, no. But
who's
I just know
breaking
what he.
down.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I
but
just know.
Brandon,
Hold on.
the
It
No,
defense
doesn't
hold
attorney
on.
matter.
didn't.
Listen,
The
man.
defense attorney
This
didn't
man is
convict.
listen,
Didn't
man.
convict Carmelo though.
Listen, bro. Listen. It
Hold
doesn't
on.
matter.
My point of saying that, can I give you my point of saying that?
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
said that because I read all three of their statements and how it corroborated with each other, right? So one police officer got there and he saw him standing on the west side of the fence.
That has
So
nothing to do with anything.
I know. So he's telling you how he saw him. And then the
No,
other
that's
guy,
but it doesn't matter. We're talking about whether or not Carmelo Anthony saying touch me and see what happens is
we don't know that.
provocation.
That's hearsay. None of the officers were there for that. That's
Art, that's not
hearsay.
going to be hearsay in court,
But
though.
this
That's
is
going to
what
It
they're all
is. No, hold on, hold on.
they're gonna put these witnesses on the stand, bro.
Okay, that he said you have to confirm that he said
hey,
touch me and see what happens.
Brandon,
Hey,
Okay.
Brandon.
listen.
So
Hey,
what we're saying,
no, Art. Let me ask Brandon a question. Okay, so the police officer is going to get up there and he's going to say that, right? He's going to say, he told me this, that, pull out my knife, right? Some witness is going to get up there and say that, right? It's in the police report.
Say
The
what?
only
What?
some witness is going to say what Brandon just read.
Touch me and see what happens.
Right,
That's where
right.
we're at. Right.
Somebody's going to testify to that in court. Is
Who's
that fair?
somebody? Who's some? Yes, I
Somebody,
would love to
a
see
human.
somebody. It would
Right.
have to be more than one person.
Okay, fair enough. But it's at least going to be one person testify to that. Is that fair, Brandon?
yes.
Okay.
Touch me and see what
Now,
happens.
okay, right. Now, the only way to combat that in court will be for the person on trial, the defendant, to testify. Oh, he's going to
No,
have to testify. If
No,
no,
he's
he's
going
not going to have to testify.
to,
Stop it,
for him,
John.
no,
no,
Stop
what I'm
it, John.
saying,
He's not even going to get on the
no,
stand.
listen, what I'm saying.
because he's
If he,
innocent. He's
if he,
innocent.
okay, if he's going to get up there and claim self defense, he's going to have
He
to
better
make the.
not say nothing.
He's not
He's
going to
but
get up there, John.
yes, he's
No,
not.
There,
He's
bro,
not
he's going to
saying
prison.
nothing.
If he doesn't get up there, he's going to get convicted.
guys,
So,
what you
No, he's
He's
have
not,
going to
John. What are you
no.
talking
Listen,
about?
he's going to jail. I'll agree. He's going to jail,
guys,
John.
And he's
hold
sitting
on.
in jail now.
Guys,
He's
hold
sitting
on.
in
Yeah,
jail now.
What you're
yeah,
forgetting is that Carmelo already admitted to stab. He said he put his hands on me.
yes. He's
I
going
didn't
to jail.
so listen. If this guy is saying he put his hands on me, so I stabbed him. What you're not listening
Yes,
to, the first part, Art, where you weren't listening, you were just worried about speeding through it. He said, you have to prove that that guy was about to commit lethal
Bodily
harm.
harm.
No,
Yeah.
no, he said lethal, potentially lethal.
but
He said it has to
see.
be potentially
Do you know
lethal.
how? Okay, can I ask you a question? You know how the law works, right?
This
Lethal is
lawyer
on.
does.
hold on. Lethal is on my hands. If I feel like I'm about to die, I can protect myself with
That's
lethal
not how
force.
that works. There's
No,
crazy
No,
sir.
people.
listen,
There are
hold
No,
crazy.
on.
sir.
That's
There are
not how it
crazy.
If
works,
No,
Art.
There are
sir.
crazy
it's
people.
That's
exactly how it
exactly
Art,
works.
how it works. The
Art, you're
first thing
wrong,
If
police
Art,
you and
ask
your
you,
Art,
did you
brother,
Art.
fear for
Have
your
you
if
been?
life?
you and your brother, if
Did
you
you
and your
fear for your
200,
life?
okay,
That's
listen,
the
if
first
I
thing
feel,
police ask you. Did you fear
did you
for your
feel, yeah,
life?
exactly. And if he says I did, because it was him and his 225-pound brother, and I'm 130 pounds, I'm sitting down. Go read the police report, bro. I'm not
Hey,
saying this shit. This man,
you ain't never
go
That's
listened.
not a
read.
All
legitimate
right, guys,
reason for
we're gonna
you to
let.
stab a knife through someone's chest, bro.
We're
Yeah,
gonna.
I don't give a
Thank
fuck where I
you.
stab you at. I can stab you in
Thank
your
you.
arm. I'm just
That's
stabbing
not
the
what
knife.
happened.
You think he really
Do
guided?
you
Like you think he
do
was
you
really that accurate?
understand? Do you understand
You
that the
think that
stab?
17-year-old boy
It
was
don't
that
matter.
accurate?
You shoot
Well, he was
somebody,
that
you ain't got to
accurate
be
that
accurate.
night.
You shoot
What?
somebody
All
to
right.
kill
What
them.
if okay, listen. We just had a rapper jump the fence and he's toward. So what if I stabbed him in his thigh?
And
I
he
was gonna.
died. That's murder, bro.
Yeah,
You
we just
killed
had a rapper.
someone.
We just had a rapper jump the fence. I forgot his name. I'm not in the rap, but it was a rapper
But
that
can we
jumped the
keep it
fence.
simple? Can we keep it simple?
No,
Because they
but
are,
why do you
because
have
they,
to say the heart? Because they want to make it seem like there's other veins. There's other veins you can stab
They
him in.
want to make it seem like. Go ahead, Idol.
No, all I'm saying is, and appreciate you for letting me up, Brandon. It's other ways. Carmelo could have handled this situation, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. But I really came up here because the title, trying to figure out why did you say that he might be serving more time. Because I'm just trying to gain more evidence. Because I don't want to conclude on something that we all speculating on,
Wait, is
right?
this idol? Is this
I
idol
just want to
from?
make I just want to make sure that we have the final conclusion on was he justified for doing what he was doing and whether he'll get off of it.
And that
So I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm just trying to hear the
and
gain a conclusion.
and
This
that's
is
why we're
idol world. How
and
the
that's
fuck
why
is all these?
listen and that's why we're listening to an actual self-defense lawyer
That's
break
what I'm
down the
saying.
police report. And
Facts.
this guy already has a new video out, and everything he's saying, everything every lawyer is saying is this
Idol
guy
world.
has
How does
no
fucking idol?
justification for stabbing this dude. And I'm telling you,
no, he's not saying that, Brandon.
that's what
He's
he
not saying
said.
that, Brandon.
That's exactly what he said,
No, he's
bro.
not. He's a defense lawyer.
Bro, that's exactly
Man, come
what he
on,
said.
Brandon.
That's what he said.
No, he's not, Brandon.
Oh my God.
You lying, Brandon. You lying.
All right,
We,
man.
we, we listen to the guy.
Y'all,
He's
hey,
saying everything that the
it's some
dude just
real.
asked.
I'm gonna
The
listen. We
dude
gonna.
idol said it. And it's something. That's why I say, can we keep it simple? We all speculating.
The lawyer is literally saying, I'm gonna
Man,
just
pull up
play it
every
again.
lawyer then,
I'm gonna
Brandon.
play it again.
Every
I ain't
lawyer gonna say something
no.
different.
All right.
Out from under the team's
How
tent,
in the hell
and
did idol
Anthony
Hey,
world
hey
grabbed
come
his
up
guys, let
bag,
me finish.
opened
Let
it,
me finish.
and reached inside and proceeded
against
to
the server?
tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. No one
Mm.
really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin
Touch,
to punch him and
touch,
see what
touch.
happens. This is provocation with intent, folks. These are facts I had not heard before. The stabber is provoking the victim to use force for the purpose of being able to inflict deadly force upon him. That's the most severe form of provocation, provocation with intent, and loses you self defense as a legal defense. These are bad facts for Carmelo Anthony.
Mm.
Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what the witness recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to get help. You notice he's not
Lies.
instantly dead. It's terrible. I mean, he's mortally wounded. It's all over, but he's got a few seconds to think about things while all the blood is pumped at high velocity out of his body. Telling everyone to get help, the witness advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial Track member was friends with Anthony and he could identify Anthony. Witness described Anthony as a black male, skinny, with a possible goatee, short, puffy hair, wearing Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact with the witness. I was then instructed to start a crime log. Nothing further to add. Officer Jerry Hancock On April 2nd, while working as the school resource officer at Independence High School, a weapons call was dispatched that detailed a stabbing at the stadium. After hearing more dispatch call information, I did not really talk.
So did the
In there,
twins
I
punch
learned
him?
hunting when another male, who he did not know, walked over and sat under the tent. Witness then said Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. Witnesses said during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag he had. It was at this time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin and then left the scene. This
As
was
he
all the
should.
witness remembered when he talked to me. After this, I stood with 3 athlete witnesses until the Criminal Investigation Division arrived and interviewed them. Next officer, Mike Crawford. Around 10 a.m., I was dispatched to the stadium.
I love
The
it.
rain could wash the blood away. Sergeant Otis located a blue tarp. We decided statement. The student quickly informed me that he knew
I
where the
love it.
suspect threw the knife. So independent school district trainers were already performing CPR to a stabbing. It should be noted my location was approximately 200 yards from the. I met Officer Wetzel, directed him to begin a crime scene log. As he was getting the needed paperwork, I took over his responsibilities of monitoring a witness to the event. Ultimately, the witness was taken to another area out of the rain. From that point forward, I was coordinating with different investigators, took no other action at the scene, nothing further. Next officer,
Man,
Jacob
fuck them.
Schultz, working as
He done.
SRO, independent school district trainer, moved a Memorial High School tent over the medics and victim to attempt to preserve any evidence that we could. The coach approached and informed me that he was with a student who claimed to see the entire altercation. I told the coach to stick with the student. We would need to get him to the police station to give a statement.
This
The
man
student
right
Hey,
quickly
so big
informed me
damn
that he
yard.
knew where the suspect threw the knife and pointed me to its location. I located the knife, could see blood on the knife, quickly used my city-issued phone to take pictures before the rain could wash the blood away. Sergeant Otis located a blue tarp. We decided we should cover the knife without touching it in an attempt to preserve any evidence. It was windy and raining hard. Once we positioned the tarp over the knife, I reached down and grabbed a backpack left in the stands to weigh the tarp down and threw it up
Listen to this.
where
Listen to
Sergeant
this.
Otis was positioning the tarp. It was later discovered that the backpack I threw up on the tarp was the suspect's backpack from which he had presented the knife.
Told you.
It was the only Centennial High
Tainted.
School backpack located
Tainted.
within all of the Memorial High School backpacks in that area of the stands. After
Told you.
securing the scene with crime tape and attempting to preserve as much evidence as possible, I assisted other officers with locating other possible witnesses.
Tainted.
Nothing else much there happened. Next, Officer Kyle Pemberton, 10:04, responded to the stadium in response to a reported stabbing. Let's see if this is Austin, which they did. Medical examiner arrived, took possession of the body. Tag number 101, 1042, Craig, approximately 10 a.m., heard cell phones. I was asked to make contact with as an imminent threat of unlawful deadly force harm to the way so the ambulance could leave. That was it. All right. So, where in this report is there conduct by Austin Metcalf, the victim, that could reasonably be perceived as an imminent threat of unlawful deadly force harm to Karmelo Anthony? The worst we hear is that Austin Metcalf
Can we speak
put
now or
his
what?
hands on me. He put his hands on me. I told him not to. We have a
Case
witness saying
over.
he grabbed,
Over.
that Austin Metcalf grabbed Karmelo Anthony. Is grabbing someone likely to inflict death or serious bodily injury? No, not in this
It don't
circumstance. Two
matter.
young men of
Oh.
similar size and strength, athletes. Simply grabbing someone is not. Now, might that be an unlawful battery? Sure, I guess you could make that argument that Anthony Metcalf was committing a simple battery. Maybe not. But it certainly wasn't conduct that was likely to inflict death or serious bodily injury. And what is required
Right.
for the lethal use of force and
This case
self-defense
is
to be
over, bro.
lawful under Texas
They
law?
tainted. It's
Let's
over.
pull it up again. The
They put his
Texas Deadly
backpack
Force
over the tarp. It's
Self-Defense
over.
Statute for the use
It's
of
over.
deadly force to be lawful
Yeah,
self-defense.
Art, you was right.
The
You was
defender
right, Art.
here,
You
I
was right.
said this.
Carmelo
I said
Anthony,
it.
had to
You was
Are
right,
you
Art.
guys?
reasonably
Are you
believe
guys gonna let
that
us
the
hear
deadly
the
force was
video?
immediately
We
necessary
heard enough.
to protect against Austin Metcalf's attempted use of unlawful deadly force. Is there any evidence here to support the reason? Pull it up again. The Texas Deadly Force Self-Defense Statute for the use of deadly force to be lawful self-defense. The defender Here, Carmelo Anthony had to reasonably believe that the deadly force was immediately necessary to protect against Austin Metcalf's attempted use of unlawful deadly force. Is there any evidence here to support the reasonable perception that Austin Metcalf was threatening unlawful deadly force upon Carmelo Anthony? If anything, there's evidence to suggest that Carmelo Anthony engaged in provocation with intent, deliberately provoking Austin Metcalf to go hands on for the purpose of having an excuse to use the knife he knew he had in his bag upon Austin Metcalf. See if I can find that quickly again in this thick text. Wonder if I can do a search. Let's see. Here it is. Then Anthony told Carmelo Anthony, the stabber, told Austin to punch him and see what happens. That sounds to me like provocation with intent. That
Yeah.
loses you self-defense. Even if you would otherwise have met the conditions for self-defense, which are not here, there is no deadly force threat evidenced by Austin Metcalf. But even if you
Okay, so Idle World, what do you think about this?
I agree with this guy because I've been locked up and I went to the law library and I understand the terms that they use. And for a lot of people, they don't understand how this law works. Like y'all got to understand, he didn't. Austin in this case wasn't trying to cause this man deadly bodily harm. So it wasn't no reason for Carmelo to pull out a knife unless he was using it as a defense. Like y'all better get back. He chose to stab the man. I don't see how y'all don't get that. Like both of them was wrong. I'm not justifying any of the guys' action. Both of the guys was wrong. Austin for trying to move somebody out of a restriction area that wasn't even under his ownership, but also Melo for just escalating the situation. I'm not. It's wrong on both ends. But at the same time, we have to teach people that violence isn't always the answer. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So I feel like Austin should have at least headbutted the dude if he grabbed him, punched him, or something. He chose to literally provoke this man.
I
You
don't
know,
think I don't think it's provoked, but do you think I think that he's going to get you right that both of them was wrong, but let's not forget we keep this simple and they were children. I think he's going to do the little time serve or whatever like that. Then he's coming home and it's going to be a lesson learned for everyone. It's a sad situation, but just like I said, I think he's going to get time served. That's it. We just gonna keep it simple. Um, I like what you're doing, Brandon. I like both sides of the coin, both sides of the argument. I think Art was right. And when these lawyers, when these lawyers get a hold of the case and it goes to court, it's gonna be a whole bunch of tainting evidence, this, that, and the other, and hopefully, we as which I don't think is gonna happen. We live in a society where it is a violent society. We don't know what happened under that tent. And just like I said, basically, not to go back and forth anymore. He's going to get time served. He's going to come home. And I stand by the fact. If it was my child, um, if it was my child, I have older children. My daughter is 26 years old. I teach her if it's a hit or fight. Oh yeah, you push her fight, but you live to see another day. If it's more than one person, you think your life, you do whatever it takes. But you walk away. We'll deal with that court, the jail, and all that kind of shit later. But you walk away. I don't give a damn if the other person in 6 feet under. You walk away. You can call it crazy, ignorant thinking, but that's how I was taught.
yeah, and I hear that, but at the same time, we have to understand the message that we're pushing out to the people now that certain people look at it as like racial issue, like it's a racial issue, but at the same time, so that means if anybody just looks at you wrong and you feel threatened, that means you can kill them.
No, but that's not this case. That's not this case.
I understand that, but you got to understand that it's going the bigger picture. Understand the bigger picture here. If
What's the bigger
anybody just
picture?
if anybody touches you, that means you can just kill them.
No, but it
That's
wasn't here. It wasn't here to fight. He did have a big twin brother. These are facts. And there was other children there. We don't know if those other children were on the twins' side or whether they were on Carmelo's side. That's what I'm saying. If it's a head up fight, then man, you, Brandon, and the rest of the people is right.
All
But I
right,
don't think it was a head up
we
fight.
about to wrap things up. So I'm gonna give everybody 1 minute to drop their final thought on this situation. Then I'm about to go to bed. So we're gonna start off with Mose the Great, bro. You got 1 minute and it's timed. I'm cutting you off after 1 minute is done. Go ahead. Unmute your mic, Mose. You muted. All right, Idle World. Go ahead, brother. 1 minute.
I mean, ain't too much to say, man. Just the law is the law, and for us as like black people, aboriginals, or however you see us, we have to understand that once we place ourselves in certain situations, the law not gonna look at it like, oh, you defended yourself. The law is the law, man. And if you know the law, like it seemed like Mello kind of knew the law. That's why he did what he did and brought the knife there. How I'm looking at it, because his other stories are saying that he was bullied and all this. They had other encounters, but it's like, come on now, bro. Why would you even try to put yourself in a situation to even let the white man even judge you upon what's right or wrong? I'm not saying he's wrong for defending himself, but there's other ways to always handle a situation. That's why I'm glad I was in security to learn de-escalation tactics, verbal tactics. Like it's different, but like I said, man, I feel like he escalated the situation to something that it shouldn't have been. And that's all I'm gonna say.
He just went off. Go ahead, John Galt.
There's been so much race talk brought up, not much race talk in the police, no race talk in the police report, anything like that. I think blacks tend to look at these things directly through a racial lens, and I think that skews their vantage point, and it further makes them kind of gonna have to live in isolation, because if blacks are under the opinion that you can stab someone for touching them, the only advice to take is to get the hell away from them. That's the unfortunate thing that I see there.
Okay, thank you very much. And last but not least, hey, you brothers, thank you for coming up. I'm gonna drop y'all right now. Thank y'all for hopping up. I appreciate y'all. Art, man, you got the floor. The guy who wants to, y'all, it started off with me, and then these other dudes came over, and you the
Nah,
one who
nah.
invited everybody. Everybody come up, and then start complaining and shit. All right,
I know,
man,
I
you
know,
got it.
I know,
You
I
got it.
know. But listen, bro. Me and you, man, we go through our. Anyway, I was sitting here thinking, damn, I like what you do. I don't know what else to say, bro. I'm gonna end it with that. I'm just sitting here listening, man. It's interesting, man. Like,
That was short. But
yeah.
all right, brother. Thank you for coming up. It was a good show. This was a topic that definitely got people riled up. At the end of the day, man, you live in a society with different types of people who all don't think like black people. I used to say this a lot on my channel. They don't know us. A lot of other cultures don't know how black people think, how we operate, how we move. Damn, there are black people who don't even know how black people think. Because a lot of the ways black people think sometimes just don't make no damn sense. Do I think Austin Metcalf was wrong? Yeah. Do I think Carmelo Anthony was wrong? Yeah. Austin Metcalf's wrong cost him his life. What if Carmelo Anthony's wrong gonna cost him? And trying to reduce it down to race and he black, so they do it, that doesn't help anybody. Because all that does is make sure that those 12 white jurors who are gonna be in that stand got themselves up good and ready to convict the Negro. That's why I tell you, black folks don't look like situational awareness, you know? See, well, let me tell you guys something. The reason why you got white people talking about, oh, it ain't about race and race don't matter, because they already know they can convict this dude. And so if they put that narrative out, like where white people are like, and the dad, oh, forgive him and I forgive him, that's how they set you up so they can shit on you. So when they crap all over you and give you 55 years to life, they're going to say, but they were saying for the months leading up to the trial that it wasn't about race. Black folks out here going to war with white folks. Literally just said all types of craziness. And it's like, bro, he ain't even went to trial yet. Calm down, Negro whose life ain't on the line. But we got to show our butt whenever we can. Hey, thank y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you do for me in this channel. Until the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other or one another. Peace.